Hey, everybody, it's Mike,
And I'm Tim.
and this is the Board Game Rundown, and we are live from our basements because we cover games from top to bottom. Tim, how are you doing on this wonderful Whiskey Wednesday?
Oh, dude, living for Wednesdays, man. Living for Wednesdays. Just to hang out
Living
with
for
all
the
these all of our buddies that show up. We got Andrew.
all
I'm gonna guess that
guys.
that's Googs.
Except
We got
Mike
Mix. We got Jazz. We
Mix
got
is in the
Bobby.
house. Hey, Jazz.
Yeah,
Bob's listening.
Hamster has been fed. The modem has been wound up in the
And he's
steampunkiest
Andrew.
way possible.
There it is. Yeah, yeah, Mondays are better, Mike. And sorry, but Tim and I get caught watching Monday Night Football, so our attendance varies this time of year, but at least we're consistent about that.
Well, this
Um,
Monday I was down in Cincinnati over the weekend. Took the kids to the zoo in Cincinnati, and then we did like the Great Wolf Lodge that is right there next to Kings Island.
mhm.
So we got back Monday, and it was just kind of like getting everybody settled back down and unpacked and ready to kind of start the work week, and school week again. But spent a whole day of water slides on Sunday,
Right.
like literally, I don't know, 9 or 10 hours in the water slide park. Um,
Wow,
and
amazing.
yeah. Football does feel a little rigged sometimes,
Yeah,
Mike.
no
I'm not.
kidding. Yeah, especially that game in Indy this weekend.
Oh,
Speaking
come
of
on.
Indy this weekend, I was just south of there this weekend
Oh yeah.
visiting Tim's wonderful sister and her awesome gaming weekend that they like to do a couple times a year now. So I actually have a new to me game on this list that I'm pretty excited to talk about.
Nice.
Yeah, one I hadn't even heard of, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. So yeah, lots of games got played this weekend. Good stuff. Yeah, the Browns got some help from the refs. Is what happened.
And look at
So
this.
yeah, and Bob's still bitter because he's a Dolphins fan, and
Hmm.
everybody got to watch them primetime Monday night as they had no penalties in a game where the Eagles had 10, and one of the refs is from an area about an hour north of
In
Philly, which
Pennsylvania.
just no reason for that at all. No reason to mention that. So.
Oh, and let me just say, speaking of no reason to mention, as a Notre Dame fan, I cannot help but cackle with glee with all of the new Michigan cheating stories that are just coming out. The more and more and more information that is coming out about this. Oh, it's so sweet. Mm,
You
so
can
sweet.
almost just smell the tire tracks in Jim Harbaugh's agent's car as he's speeding to NFL executive offices, trying to get himself a job so that he can escape that situation, much in the same way that Pete Carroll
I
did
was,
during those allegations like over a decade ago now,
uh
for
huh.
what turned out to be a very successful NFL career for him
Mm-hmm.
that he's still in the middle of.
Sometimes
Uh,
second time's a charm, but because that was his second run in the NFL. Uh,
right? Yeah.
but
Yeah.
no, unfortunately, Harbaugh will probably end up with the Bears because that's where he played. I mean, he also played with the Colts for a minute. Um,
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. The Colts and I really like our coach right now. The Bears make a lot of sense because theirs is gone at the end of this year.
oh my
So,
God. Well, Travis Bagent, like where that's
hey
double
man,
Mister Double irrelevant. There's an
yeah, Teabag
amazing
did pretty well.
there's an amazing video that you should watch where his dad is a 28-time world champion arm wrestler, and some some poor reporter for the NFL Network challenged him to an arm wrestling match, and it's pretty hilarious.
No, the
Uh,
guy begged him to join him for an arm wrestling match, and he begrudgingly accepted because clearly the guy wanted to to make a spectacle, and then ganked the mic from him and proceeded to make it a spectacle.
Oh, but
But
it
then
was
you see how
amazing.
entertaining the guy is. You're like, okay, I get it. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, the dude was great though, right? Because he was just
Yes.
like, okay,
Yeah.
no, I can, because he's just showing off at that point. Like, I'm gonna hold the mic and arm wrestle this dude. And then when the guy's like trying to move his arm and it doesn't move an inch, not even a centimeter, and he's like, "Calm down, young man, calm down." And he's
Yeah.
like, "And this is where I just ease you down." It's just,
It was really
oh, it was so good. No, the Bears are a dumpster fire. It's probably made worse, honestly, the fact that they won, because now you're casting confusion. If he wins again tomorrow, it's going to be really awkward. It's going to start to get really weird for Fields if he wins the next couple games.
It's get a little squeamish for that quarterback room.
And also, totally loved watching um, Utah just own USC again. I mean, USC did come back, but then Utah won with a last second field goal. That was like the one football game I got to watch over the weekend. And again, nothing better than a sad Caleb Williams crying on the side of a football field just to make my weekend.
Yeah, I figured you'd probably enjoy that, Mr. Notre Dame fan, USC hater. Not a USC fan myself, but he's got his popcorn. You sprinkled some Caleb Williams tears on those
I
popcorn
did.
kernels, didn't
It's
you, Tim?
it's
I know you did.
delicious. It's delicious.
Wow, Chris is the first one to mention it today. Tim and I even went to hit it at the same time. Hit that like button if you're watching. We appreciate it so much. You guys are all the reason we've done this for almost a year now, Tim. This is crazy. Almost a year of Whiskey Wednesdays. We started doing this thing in November of last year. But yeah, appreciate you guys and especially those thumbs. But football aside, Tim, we got a list to do tonight. We're continuing our board game values, which I can't hear different anymore, or games that have value. I'm segueing already, but we're not going to jump into the list yet. But that's what we're doing tonight. Tim, you're drinking some whiskey.
Yeah,
What
I
is it?
am. You don't want to know.
Oh, it's Old Crow.
It is the oldest of crows. Yeah, I got to get through this bottle, man, because I'm going to re-up around the holidays, right? So,
Yes.
so I'm not one to let something sit. So I want to work through this bottle. I want to get it gone, get it out of the house, and then be ready to rock and roll. I found out my son was down here, and my Infinity Gauntlet was missing a few fingers. So
Uh-oh.
I had to find it and fix it. So, let me just one more little salute to Caleb Williams, Michigan, and the Colts while we're at it. There you go, buddy. Much love to you.
Yeah, thank you. And Nix is recognizing the plummeting of quality in where Mike sits, going from the desk. It was actually my poker table, one of my gaming tables,
Yeah.
to couch mic, and then we're gonna have bedside mic soon. I actually was gonna move back over to the poker table for tonight, but I think that's gonna have to happen next week. The whiskey I'm drinking, I've been trying to go on theme lately since Mr. Jim Cole's the one that got me onto that. I don't see him in here tonight, but give him a minute.
It's early. He's in Texas.
Games that are, hey, we got Reed with us.
Yay,
Welcome,
Reed.
sir.
I talked about you last week.
Whoops. Yes, he did. He just keep hitting the same stuff. There you go. All right. So games that have value, maybe games that I try to get a good price on or get a steal on them. So I went ahead and went with Larceny.
Oh, nice.
Because, it's nice when you can save a board game by getting it cheap. One of these I actually admittedly have not played yet, but I recently got it on a sale at a steal of a price. So I'm drinking Larceny. Very good wheat whiskey. Okay. Yep. What is Mike telling me? I need to do OnlyFans? We're
no.
switching
Mike
to
is
OnlyFans?
Mike is unsubscribed with bedside Mike.
Oh boy. I get tired of moving my laptop every week. I just like to leave it in the place where I use it all the time. All
You're
right.
just lazy.
I had a really busy day. I'm actually kind of glad to tip some whiskey back.
Oh, dude. Yeah, after vacation. Now, don't get me wrong. My kids had an amazing time. I had a great time. I was with my wife. I was with one of my oldest friends and his family. So like our wives are very good friends. You know, our kids are all really good friends. So it was like an ideal vacation scenario. It was great, but it is so good to be back home. I can't tell you Monday. I mean, not like any of the beds we slept in or the pillows were bad or anything like that. It felt so good to just be in my own house. Didn't care there was laundry on the floor, like whatever. Oh, yeah, I got to go back to work, but to sleep in my own bed. And then, today,
Mhm.
right? Like this week, we're prepping our lists, and just to be back in my game room, looking forward to a pour, or seven. And yeah, it's going to be a good time, man. I'm excited.
It is. Yeah, people are already worried about what kind of attire I'll have if I become bedside Mike. I do have some shorts on because, as you know, I want to go ahead and let everybody know that you should thank me for the warm weather we got the last couple days. That's because I caved and kicked my furnace on Sunday night when I got back.
Oh,
So you're welcome for that. You are welcome for that. I went ahead and turned it back off yesterday because it's
hmm
been in the 70s the last 2 days. So
hmm
there you go.
It's dropping though. It's getting cooler quick.
Yeah, it's going to be in the 50s again this weekend. So, no, Bob, I did not get my shelves assembled yet. I ended up kind of doing some stuff I did not expect to be doing this week.
Mm. Title of
Updating
my
the
sex tape.
resume a little bit.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. So no, that didn't happen. But no, this weekend was awesome. Bob and I went down to JuliaCon. Wish, of course, Tim could have made it, but
Me
he was
too.
doing the fall break thing with the kids. Totally get it. Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. Fellow metalhead in the house,
Yeah.
making up for Jim's absence tonight. Speaking of metalheads, that's going to be next week, isn't it? That we're going to have John on the show. So let's go
Yeah.
ahead and make that official. Next week, we are going to have a guest, and his name is John DeCampos. He is the
hmm
designer of Black Mold and Token Terrors. Black Mold hit Kickstarter last year. We did a preview for it. That is going to be coming out early next year. Very fun game that I actually gave a shout out in our dark games list, and Bob gave a shout out in our soon to be released top 10 spooky games list. And we're going to be previewing his game, Valka, which hits
hmm
Kickstarter the first Tuesday in November, which is
hmm
November 7th. So this Sunday, we're playing and previewing that game. So we're going to have him on next week. Yes, exactly, Reed. His art is fantastic, man.
hmm
I really like the
hmm
art in Black Mold. He
No,
kept.
hey, Mike, you are not allowed to have opinions about artwork in
Oh no,
games.
no, you're right. He has art, and in that game, it was black. It was grayscale. Anyway, it's really good. It was a
hmm
really fun thematic experience. Um, but yeah, John's art is awesome. I will say though, Valka is not his art. He got someone else's art, and I love the art in Valka.
I
Oh
do too.
God, it looks incredible, dude.
I've
It's
been
so
goofing around
good.
with this game on the solo mode, and I just love looking at the art. The cards all look great. They really
Yeah,
do.
oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that art on all that. So anyway, so yeah, we're gonna have Johnny Campos on next week. Looking forward to that. We're still waiting on him to pick a topic. So got that going on.
I mean, what everyone's talking about, but we're very strict here.
Yes, right. We very much adhere to specific topics without
hmm
any banter, rants, or
No
tangents
tangents. Mm-mm.
outside of the list itself, which is why we're 16 minutes in and we're already on number 10. So
Yeah, wait a minute. Hold on.
we're not.
Mike,
Yes.
anything you've been watching or listening to lately you want to mention before we actually get into our lists?
I wanted to scare you and make you think I'd jump in without letting you ask that question. But I've looked forward to this question every week because I know
I know
Mr.
you like it.
I do. Usually it's the music aspect I like to answer to,
Mhm.
but this time, Tim, I rewatched The Thing last night. Dude, that I love that movie. It is really, really good. I really enjoy watching that movie because
Oh
this
my
time,
God.
so I only watched The Thing for the first time earlier this year. Really enjoyed it, but this time going in, knowing who the imitations are, made the movie so much different. Oh, it's great, man. It is really great. Fantastic,
Popcorn.
classic John Carpenter movie. And
The best
yeah,
one. This best one. I'm
yes,
sorry.
yes, with Caleb Williams, tears, salt tears.
Oh yeah, the popcorn, yes, is salted
Correct,
with Caleb Williams' tears, the quarterback from USC, as he
correct.
continues to lose.
Other than that, no major music recently. Just had to get out the thing shout out for you.
All right.
Oh,
So go on.
and I played the thing Sunday for the
Oh yeah.
first time. Oh, what a great game. It's just one of those where you're going to have a story when you're done playing.
So
There's
Mike,
going to be a story.
real quick, who all played with you?
Patrick, Bob, Aaron, Darcy, her
Oh,
fiance Chris,
Chris is yeah, awesome.
and John, who I had only met one other time there last
Oh,
time.
John Richard, maybe.
Possibly. I don't know his last. I didn't catch his last name.
Anyways, so you had a good time though. You enjoyed it. Patrick
Oh, it was a
is.
blast.
I'm just
Karen
glad you played it with
started
Patrick.
Yes, Karen started as the imitation. Patrick very early picked up on the fact that it was her, and he was correct. So we rope tied her multiple times, so she didn't even get to be the captain of missions.
Mm.
And then, hey, Matthew's in the house. Yeah, the thing is a blast. But then Darcy became an imitation late and just continued to play straight. There was just no seeing that. And then, of course, there was no seeing Patrick becoming an imitation in the last round when he was so straight and was kind of quarterbacking the game because he was also the teacher, but also giving
Oh.
advice on, hey, you should consider this. And I would, Bob, I was starting to suspect Patrick too, especially when he stepped away to talk to Karen and he tried to make it look slick. But at that time, I was like, man, this could be the part where Patrick turned imitation and the game, I just lost the game.
Let me just tell you, Mike. It's not.
And that is what
It's not if you're paranoid, dude.
imitations.
It's not if you're paranoid. It's are you paranoid enough? That's really what it. That's the rule, dude. That is the rule. Yeah, awesome. I'm really glad you love it because we talk this game up all the time. I'm really glad you had a good time with it. I love that game and the experience it provides.
It's great. And yes, Bob, I actually suspected Darcy too, because on the last round that she was the captain was when a sabotage card came out and she sort of giggled about it. And I was like,
she couldn't even hold it in.
I had some gut instincts, but sometimes you play those games for the first time, you never quite know. I wasn't very accusatory in that game, which I normally love to be in social
Yeah.
social deduction games. I just love to be accusatory and then sometimes obnoxious about how it can't be anybody, it has to be someone else. I was just kind of playing with the game. Her poker face was bad. She definitely got giggly when that sabotage card came out,
Oh.
and I just
Oh.
didn't call her on it. But it was a blast. It was a blast. But yeah, they destroyed. No, the third thing we lost the third thing, so we never had access to it. So we lost that way. Anywho, there you go. The thing tangent. Go on.
I
We've
love
been
it.
watching and listening to.
Okay, yeah. So I watched a terrible movie, Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. So I'm currently rereading Pet Cemetery. I haven't read it in 20 something years, and
Nice. I have read that book. Very good book.
yeah, for sure. And also like a pretty good Stephen King movie. They're not all very good. Like the majority
Sure.
of them are pretty bad, to be completely
Mhm.
honest. But that was a good one, right? So watch that. It was a stinker. I kind of expected it to be, but I was kind of like, well, you never know, right? Um, and then I just started watching tonight.
We got Aaron in the house.
Yeah, Aaron, my
Terrible.
guy Aaron. So excited to see him. Um, I just started watching. It's called Servant on Apple TV, and
Okay.
this show's kind of blowing my mind. So it's like a husband and wife. I'll just give you the premise, because like first episode doesn't count as spoilers if you ask me. So, um, this husband and wife they had a baby. It died like suddenly, like 13 weeks old, right? Like crib death or something. Okay. They didn't go into what, just, oh, it died. But then they hire the wife, is sort of like having trouble processing this. So they have like this lifelike doll that they pretend is the baby, and they even hire this nanny to come and like take care of the baby. And the husband is like, once the wife goes to work, the husband's like, you can quit pretending, she's gone. And the girl keeps pretending like this doll is like a real baby, and it's really creepy and it's kind of weird. And by the end of the first episode, there's a real baby there and the doll is gone. And the husband is trying to figure out what's going on. And so
Okay. All right.
yeah, dude, it's really kind of trippy. It's a nice little
Weird.
mystery so far. It's a
Cool.
little unsettling. It's produced by Shyamalan, and now while I know he definitely has his ups and downs, it feels like it's really well. Listen, even a bad M. Night Shyamalan movie, I haven't seen Avatar, so I won't speak for that one. But even the other ones that are bad are still well filmed. It's just sometimes the dialogue is clunky, or it's kind of the acting can be bad or whatever. But this one, I think he's just a producer. I think other people have written and directed it and stuff. And 2 episodes in, I just started the 3rd episode before coming down to do this, and I'm like, okay, I'm hooked. Like it's
Nice.
weird, it's moody, it's creepy. Ooh, something's going on up there. Weird, moody, and creepy, and I'm kind of loving it right now. So
I'm trying to set the tone by having the kids drop stuff on cue with the weird and creepy.
I think that's Mallory up there doing something, but
something weird.
But anyways, you know what weird and creepy is now she's a Swiftie, so I'm dealing with that.
Currently is that everything's downhill from here.
Everything.
A couple things we're going to. David asked him, "What's your favorite Stephen King movie?"
Okay, so we're gonna Matt. I'm coming back to that because I need to know.
We'll come back. I'm going top down.
But yeah. Favorite Stephen King movie is The Shining, the Kubrick one, the good one. Mm-hmm. I don't want any of the Mick Garris directed, and not that everybody's gonna know what that means. Any of the Mick Garris directed Stephen King movies are all pretty bad. He did The Stand, the TV series. He did the TV version of The Shining with the dude from Wings as the Jack Torrance part, which is Jack Nicholson's character. Mm-hmm. Not good. He did Desperation. Not good. Now, the other one you could go with would be like Shawshank Redemption, right? Not a lot of people know that's a Stephen King movie. Or Stand By Me, also incredible movie, Stephen King book. Yeah,
I did not know that. Yeah, Shawshank's one of my favorite movies.
So those are sort of like runner-ups, but for real, The Shining, Kubrick. Kubrick is one of my favorite directors. So you had me already. And then you just have this very unsettling movie with all this weird, ambiguous stuff thrown in and everything. Really good. So I enjoy it quite a bit. It's creepy. I like the soundtrack. I enjoyed even though I think most of it's horse crap, I did really also enjoy the documentary about The Shining, Room 237, which is just about all the conspiracy theories surrounding Kubrick's Shining movie. So that's fun too. But yeah, Green Mile. Green Mile is another good King adaptation. But yeah, and then Chris, yeah, Midnight Mass is probably my favorite Mike Flanagan series. That's excellent. Really good, really creepy.
What was the comment you were going back to, Tim? Was it this one?
Yeah. We got a movie star in our midst.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hear more about that.
Yeah.
Chris Charlwood, if you're gonna be around, Bob and I will be at Meeple this weekend. So yeah, Bob, I'd love to play Unfathomable Saturday, or I'd play The Thing again too. So yeah,
Misery.
they're both really good. More of like
I believe that was another Rob Reiner. Did Rob Reiner direct Misery too? So he would have directed Stand By Me and Misery. Not bad. Not bad. And yeah, Chris plans to be there. And then music.
Well, I'm sure he'll have. I was just gonna say, I'm sure he'll have another experience to add to his worst gaming experience list.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, because you'll be there, Mike.
Right. So that's
and
good.
Then musically, we were on a 4-hour car ride twice, right there and back, and so the music was all over the place because I just had all of my songs in my library on my phone on shuffle and just go. So I listened to literally a little bit of everything. Oh, a choreographed fighter in the background of the fight scenes. He was dressed as a firebender. Nice.
Speaking of choreographed fight scenes,
yes.
Never mind. I'll come back to it.
Okay. Okay, Mike. So what are the parameters? What are the rules for your list tonight?
So we're doing values in board games based on monetary value, not my board game value is no, it's not that. We're doing value in monetary values. So bang for your buck in small boxes is what we're getting at. Games that have a lot of replayability, games that have a lot of content, games where you get a lot for what you pay, and games that are good and are fun to play.
They got to be good too?
Oh, crap. Yeah, hold on. We're going to have to restart. These are all the worst.
Oh, this is trash now.
Yeah, so there you go. Cha-ching. We're talking about money. And,
it's a crime.
Games that are good values for what you pay. And they got to be small boxes. So we can talk about how big of a box. All of mine are 8 of the 10 are what I would call that 4x6 size.
Mm-hmm.
8 out of my 10 are that size. I'm not going to be like Dan and try to put Sentinels of the Multiverse on a small box list, which he did last year when we did best small box games. I still think that's crazy. Anyway, so most of my 8 of mine are 4x6s. That's all I'll say.
I mean, like that big? 8 of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I stuck to that. Yeah.
Oh, now you're showing off. Oh, I just saw another one I need to write on my list.
I mean, I didn't even go to. I even asked him about this. I did not go to what you would call Acropolis box size or Lost Cities. Targi is another one that's that size. I didn't even go to that size, although I do have one that's like. I actually didn't include any all play games, but they have a very common, like, sort of.
Oh.
What is that? It's like a 7 by it's like a 7x6x3 kind of box size that they
Yeah.
put their bigger boxes in. I
Yeah.
think that is still a smaller box, but I didn't include any of those. So, like for example, I don't have QE on here. You know, I love that. It could be it's an honorable mention we could talk about. There you go. But I left it off and tried to stick with games. Yes, yes, Nix. Are you trying to get a bingo?
He's
Meaning
trying.
that
He's trying.
I need to update our sheet so I can get an Alaska mention in there. There you go. You made me say it. Yes. Tim, why? What was your criteria as far as box size?
Mm, I never got anywhere near as egregious as Sentinels of the Multiverse, which is technically the same box size as one of my DC deck builder games. So I could have, by Dan's list, put that on there. There might be a game or two that would be small enough to fit into a fanny pack. But they're
Most
not
of
gonna,
mine would fit in a fanny pack.
but if you don't have the windbreaker to go with it, it's not going to be near as good. Just gonna say. My games all have to be released. They all have to be out.
Yep.
So sorry,
Yes,
Matthew. Otherwise, this list is prime for you because you just popped out 3 of them.
I know, right? No, we try to not. We need to have a separate list of like our favorite unreleased games. That's a list we should do soon. Actually,
Oh my God. Yeah.
there's a ton we'd love to talk about, and we keep them off these lists because of that. But it doesn't make them not good.
1,000,000%. Anyways, I think my largest box might be like that big. So
Maybe
like full size iPad
size,
right?
The for sale size.
A little bigger.
I think he just
maybe.
called you out. There's a spoiler right there. I wouldn't be mad at you if you did, because there is a travel size that is about a 4x6.
Oh, sure. I mean,
also Tiny Epic size is your 4x6.
I mean, you could. There's no reason for sale couldn't fit in that size box. My for sale size box is oversized, and it's that big.
Well, yeah, just because I can fit Splendor into smaller boxes doesn't mean I'm going to put it on this list.
Right.
But they went ahead and put it in a smaller box for me, so it did make the list.
So, yeah. I mean, Splendor is about as large as I would go, I think. Like that would be pushing the limits, like the Splendor size box.
Wow, Chris, I haven't seen that. Sorry, I haven't seen that box then. Mine is, man, I don't know what I have then. I thought I had first edition, but mine's probably like a 4x6x10 or 4x8x10. Is that the one you have, Tim?
I mean, mine's probably 4 inches deep, 8 across by 10. Yeah,
that's about what I was thinking. I have. We probably have that same edition. I didn't. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I was trying to jump on that Sentinels comment because that's the version I have.
No. You're fine, man. But yeah, I think for me, I love a lot of this style of game because they tend to play fast. They tend to be very easy to teach. They tend to be very gateway. And why I enjoy them is because when I'm not with you guys or at a meetup, I'm with my family and I'm with my in-laws. And so if I'm going to want to get a lot of games in on the side, then I've got to, I mean, it helps that I genuinely enjoy these games anyways, but like I just, it helps me to have sort of a big vocabulary of this style of game, so that then, an access to this style of game, be able to teach this style of game and be enthusiastic about this style of game.
Yep.
Because then that means I get to play games because Mike, and you're the same way, man. Sometimes I don't care what game I'm playing. I just want to play games with my friends, and people that I want to be around. And and if I don't want to be around these people, well, then let's play a game. So at least we can have a good time, so it's fine. All of that is fine. So that's kind of was my whole thinking about this list is like, what are some games that I bought that I own And I'm like, there's a lot of replayability. There's a lot of accessibility to these. Um, there's a wide variety. So I
Nice.
think you'll bring in different kinds of people, with this list. And yeah,
No, you're
yeah.
right. Everything you said, and especially the part about so many of these are games that you can use to bring people into the hobby, and I love those kind of games.
Yeah, Andrew, why
I
is Scout
love
$23? Scout should be a $10 game. Tops. It's the tokens.
I love teaching people these kind of games that don't play games that much, and then they're like, "Wow, there's games like this." Like,
Mhm.
yeah, and you can go out and get it for $15, which is going to be a
So
lot of mine on this list.
so Jazz Ahoy Kitten isn't out yet, technically.
Yeah,
So that Kickstarter either just ended or is about to end. So Ahoy Kitten cannot be on my list, but that would 1,000,000%.
absolutely. It would have been a crossover. I played it 3 times this weekend. It was a Gen Con. Yes, it was a Gen Con release that then they made a Kickstarter for, and it's not officially out. So there's really nowhere to get it right now. It's
Mm-mm,
awesome.
mm-mm.
It's really good. Good call, Chris. It's such a
Yeah,
fun
I
game.
love, I love when we get somebody like Chris whose heart has turned to stone, and it grows like 3 sizes when we play a game like Ahoy Kitten, and he has a good time. I'm
It's
kidding.
a,
I like to kid Chris. He's a super nice guy. One time I really appreciated. I showed up at a Meeple meetup and I had my kids with me, and Chris was he had Marvel United out, and me and my daughter and my son and Chris he taught us how to play, and then my son was kind of in and out, but man, he was super patient. My daughter was having a good time, and it just really made it like a very nice experience. Um, so I really appreciate that. Anyways,
uh, Marvel United also a fantastic value. You can regularly find copies of that game for under $15 with an expansion to go with it. Not the X-Men expansion that people say it needs, but if you want to try it out, you can get it cheap and then get that X-Men expansion later.
right. And you know what's funny is that box is probably small enough to be on Dan's version of the small box game list. Just gonna say.
Yes, that's true. All right, Tim, we've delayed enough. We have 10 of these things to get through. We're looking at a midnight stream again unless we get cooking. So let's get cooking.
Let's get cooking.
Number 10.
All right, my number 10 is a game I discovered at Gen Con. We do have full disclosure. We do have like an affiliate link with them somewhere, so I think you can click on that and get this game if you want. But I genuinely love this game.
Links. Start dropping them in the comments.
Genuinely love this game. Was really excited about it, and because I had the designer on, interviewed him, and we played the game on camera. And it was my first time playing it. It was my first time hearing about it. And after interviewing him and talking to him and playing the game and everything, I'm like, I'm sorry, because I feel bad that I've never heard of this game, because I really like it. And I think people should know about it because I enjoyed it. And that is Pocket Paragons. Pocket Paragons is like you got like a small like 8-card deck or something like that. It's real small, and you've got unique characters, and it's almost like a rock paper scissors style of game, but you can mix and match these characters and the way they go. The box is like this big. I got a couple of the expansions and I fit it all in one box so far. It's really cool, man. Super fun. It's a game that I was totally off of my radar. And, what is this list if not an opportunity to talk about some cool games that more people should know about? And so Pocket Paragons is my number 10. I enjoy it. It's a dueling game, and I think we played it when I was teaching the guys so we could play it for review. Like, we literally just broke off into pairs, played a game, then changed who we were playing, changed what characters we were using, because there were different there's different options in the box. Play it again, you know what I mean? And then you could mix and match and keep going. And I think we played several rounds in under 20 minutes, just boom, boom, boom. There's a little bit of pressure luck. There's a little bit of reading your opponent, and I really enjoy that style of game. There's legitimate tension in there. And Pocket Paragons is my number 10. Super fun. Really like it. And David's coming in hot.
He is. David with the puns, really, really piling them up. Really good pick, Tim. I forgot about this one. Now, I, of course, haven't played it either, but you told me how much you enjoyed it, and we got, some review copies. I actually did check off your box. I actually did. It was one of the games that I took out of the box and condensed and took to Alaska with me. But I actually didn't play it. Me and my buddy stuck to a lot of stuff we already knew. But yeah, you talked it up, and I do need to learn that one and get it played for sure.
I enjoy it. So unapologetically.
Sounds very cool. Okay, so my number 10, I actually haven't played yet, but I just got it. And I'm obviously interested in it. And you can just get this game so cheap. Amazon recently had a sale, and it was one of the games I picked up, and I got this game for $7. And when you can get a Phil Walker Harding game for $7, you just pull the trigger. It's regularly on sale, and it's silver and gold. Silver and gold is a flip and write. Looks pretty good. It's got like you're kind of drawing some polyominoes. That's really all I know. That's all I needed to know. And anytime people talk about good small box games, this regularly gets brought up. And so I'm just going to throw it in my list for fun because I just bought it for $10, and I've really been going full speed into a lot more roll and writes lately. I hit the kick like 2 years after everybody else did. No shame in the game. Don't care. I've got another roll and write on this list. Only one more. But yeah, I'll stop talking about it because that's all I know. But it's such a deal. You can get this game. Black Friday comes around, you'll be able to get this game, I'm sure, for that price again. And even right now, I think it's like $12. So
I had a proud papa moment, if you will. My in-laws that I converted over to board gaming and got them into board gaming. I was at their house. I don't know. It might have been a year ago. It could have been this year. It all runs together. But yeah, we're playing games and everybody was kind of winding down. And my sister-in-law is like, "Oh, we really like this one. We picked it up pretty cheap." And she taught me how to play silver and gold. And then I went and bought a copy myself.
Nice.
And yeah, man, good. It's a really good game. I love it because I didn't know anything about it. They sought that out on their own.
Very
bought
cool.
it. You know what I mean? Like, I love it.
Yes.
I love it. So
that's exactly like I was mentioning earlier. These are the kind of games that if you teach someone and they enjoy, they might just go out and buy a copy. And that'll be like one of the first games they add to their collection, and it gets them into the hobby. I feel really good when I'm able to do that. Really, for anybody, anytime I teach somebody a game and they go out and buy it, it's just a really good feeling. So yeah, that's awesome to hear about that. All right. So there you go. Let's get to number 9.
all right. I think I just got to do this to get it off my list because it might be on your list too. I don't love roll and writes. There's a couple that I do like, and both of them are on my list, but I'm going to get this one out of the way first.
Oh, I saved this one for you.
Okay. I love this game. We played this game during COVID, like online with other people. And that game is where I totally drew a blank.
Cartographers.
I got it written down and I lost it. Cartographers. Great game. Smallish box. Fun artwork. The theme is very cool. I love that you're just making a map and you flip and you're going to choose what you're going to do with those pieces. and where you're going to put them. And then when you draw a monster, you pass your map to the left or to the right, and then somebody else is drawing on your map trying to ruin your thing. And it's just super fun, really well done. Thunderworks Games. It's great. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it does have an app. That is
What?
true. I've seen
Oh,
that. Yeah. Yeah, in the role player universe, I finally borrowed it from Bob and played it earlier this year, and it's really good. Me and my buddy that I play games a lot, that you guys finally met last time he came over, he really enjoyed that one. So he and I have played that one like 4 or 5 times when I borrowed
mhm.
that one from Bob. It's really fun. And there's so many expansions for it now.
Are
There's
there really?
Heroes. Yes, there's Heroes, which is a standalone, Dan's favorite word. And there's another one too that I can't remember, but there's a lot of extra content for this game now. Love the role player universe and a lot of those games. It's really good. Great pick. I saved that one as an honorable mention. I knew you were going to put it on your list.
I, I could
So
not. I was worried there'd be crossover, but I'm like, you know what? If there's crossover, there's crossover. There's 10 games on here. We might have crossover.
yeah, yeah, good pick. Just because they're obvious doesn't make them bad picks.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes
Not
I
at
got to
all.
remind you of that. But yeah, it's a fantastic game. There's a reason it's ranked in the hundreds in BGG. It's extremely highly rated.
And I don't
There's
like
reasons for
rolling
that.
rights that much.
Yeah, I do. I just got late to the party. I've been playing a lot here this year. All right, my number 9 is the new to me one I played
Mm.
this Sunday at JuliaCon. And this is a game I had never even heard of. And it's one of those that I'm probably just going to go buy. And that is a game called Gift of Tulips.
Okay.
Gift of Tulips is an extremely interesting and unique game. I felt like this game had a novel mechanic, and you can get it online for $14. So, what this game is you are trying to build the best bouquet of tulips. You're going to have 4 cards in the middle representing first, second, third, and fourth place. You're going to play cards. You have multiple actions you can take. On your turn, you're going to draw a card, take an action, then draw a card and take a different action. So you can't
Mm-hmm.
do the same action twice. One of your action is you can place a card into these first through fourth place ones areas. As you do that, the values determine what place the card is in or what suit. There's 4 suits, 4 different types of tulips. So if you have the highest value, that makes it the first place cards. And if you have the most of the cards in that color, your bouquet is going to score the most points for having the most cards of the winning suit there. Okay. But what gets interesting is that one of your actions is you can gift cards to people. Okay. Why would you want to do that? Because yeah, and Evan, it looks awesome. I love the artwork on this game. It's really pretty. I mean, these are really well drawn flowers. I like it a lot. I was really impressed with the art on this game. Obviously, that is a German version. But Gift of Tulips, you're so you can gift a card to people and you get points off of that. So you want to do that. If a card suit is in third or fourth place, you get the value on the card plus a bonus if the card is in third or fourth place. So you're actually gifting people higher cards to get more points. The cards go from 1 to 4. I'm sorry, 2 to 4 actually. And yeah, if you give somebody a 4 with a +3 bonus, that's 7 points you got for yourself. But now that's another card that somebody can score off of. And I really like that balance because you can't just keep adding cards to your own bouquet. You only are allowed to do 2 different actions each turn. And one of them is playing cards into here and affecting how much they're actually going to score you at the end of the game. The other really interesting part here is that the other action you can take is you can submit cards. You can submit cards into a secret bouquet, and those cards, only 5 of them come out at the end of the game, and they can dramatically affect how this scores at the end of the game. So you don't 100% know how much cards are going to be worth until the very end of the game when the secret bouquet is revealed and those final values are tabulated, and that could totally change up how your cards are going to score. But I just really liked how I can gift you a card that's in first place, but I'm only going to get the value of the card. If I
Mm-hmm.
gift you a card that's in, or no, sorry, if I gift you a card that's in first, um, yeah, I'm going to get a higher bonus. So it's just I just thought that kind of push and pull of I'm giving people points, but that also can give me more points immediately versus the risk of that person scoring more points at the end of the game because of what I gave them. Man, I thought it was fantastic. Obviously, I went on a 5-minute tangent about it, and new to me. Just need to buy it. You can get it online for $15. It was really good, and it looks great.
Mike, I got one question though.
Yes.
Did you enjoy it? Just kidding.
I mean, there's one we've never talked about, and I've never
I've never heard of
played.
it.
I've never heard of. So I wanted to give it its due diligence, and I'm glad to hear Evan say that people are starting to talk about this one. Gift of Tulips is really good. It's
Well,
a really unique game.
listen, come from the hipster douchebag, likes to have games nobody's ever heard of on their list. Mad respect, dude. No problem.
Yeah. Geek Market, $14. eBay, $14. Yeah, it's really fun. I enjoyed it. And again, unique, like nothing I've played before. I'm getting points for giving people stuff. And if it's worth a lot of points, I get even more. But then they could get the points at the end of the game and I won't.
Right.
It's really good. It's really good. All right. There you go. Tangent number 12.
Yeah, you know.
At least it was a game. All right. Number 8.
Sticking with the nature theme and a little
Ooh.
bit of I don't know that it's called tableau building. There's a really nice spatial aspect to this game that I enjoy quite
Tim,
a
Earth's
bit.
too big for this list. Gosh.
I know. I know. So I couldn't go with Earth, so I had to go down, right?
Yeah.
Let's just go with the Blade Runner. Enhance. 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 We're zooming in. We see a forest. Enhance. Oh, we see like a small, group of trees. Enhance. One tree. Arboretum. Arboretum is a
Oh,
small box game with amazing art. This game is so mean for being as pretty as it is. I love this game. I think it's super cool. I really enjoy, again, the spatial aspect of it. It feels kind of cutthroat. Um, this is a great small box game. When I first learned about it, it was out of print. But then thankfully, I think Bob started to think about buying it because then it immediately came back into print. And I was able to get a copy for very cheap. And I enjoy this game quite a bit.
They reprinted it and then switched to this box cover. This is the
Yep.
one I have, and I haven't played it yet.
Yep. That's the one I have too. That's the one I have too. Really good. Really good game. Super fun. Really interesting. And again, the spatial aspect and Super Trooper. Yay. Also a good reference. But anyways, Arboretum, really good, man. I just think that if you, it's worth a look. It's worth a look. It's a little mean. I'll warn you. It's a little mean. So if you're okay with that, I'd say give it a shot.
Yeah, because so I haven't played it, but isn't there a mechanic in here about how the cards in your hand can affect other people's scoring?
A little bit.
And that's why it's mean. You're going to hate draft those cards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really want to play this. I bought it a while ago when it got reprinted in that box, and I just haven't gotten it to the table. I've heard great things about this game for years now.
It's really good. I love it.
That's a really good pick. I didn't include it because I haven't played it.
That didn't
Yeah,
stop you from your number 10, right?
well, I just bought it on sale, so
I just had
I
to
knew
mess with you.
somebody
You're
would
good.
back me up. Everybody's played that one. It says good things.
Seriously.
Arboretum is ranked 339, and yeah, you can still easily get copies for $20 and under.
Yeah, cheap. And
Plays
you can get a
two
deluxe
to
version. I didn't
four.
get the deluxe one, but
Plays 2 to 4 in 30 minutes. Great
mhm.
pick. Awesome pick. All right, so my number 7 is one of the games on here that is not the 4x6 box size I talked about.
No.
Probably one of the higher priced games I picked because new it's $29, but you can get used copies for 15. This has become one of my favorite designers, and that is John D. Clare's Custom Heroes.
Mm.
This game is so cool. This is a card shedding game. You want to take tricks and be the first player to dump your hand. But as you play, your cards can get upgraded. They start as basic cards, and you're adding different abilities to those cards. Sometimes they're going to affect the value, like they can be the cards, I believe, go from 1 to 9.
Hmm.
But then you're adding, and the game comes with sleeves, which is great. And you need them because you're going to add these. You have 4 different upgrades you can add to a card. So that's 4 different slots that you're putting inside of the sleeve, and the card just continues to get better and
But
better as you play it. But what's interesting is
yes.
you don't get to keep the cards. Those cards that you're upgrading can end up in someone else's hand later. But that's cool though, because you're also going to get cards that other people upgraded. Man, it's really cool. It's got that really neat scout mechanic of card shedding, and just the way you're upgrading cards, man. I think this one really is fun. I think 6.8 is pretty rough for this game. This is one of John's first card crafting games.
Um,
It's
let
good. It's
Mike.
cheap. It's in a small box. It's so fun.
I think this game was a little bit ahead of its time, and I think that this came out after Mystic Vale, so I
It
think
did.
people were expecting more of a Mystic Vale kind of thing, and this is
I
not
could
that.
see that. Yeah, I could see that. That's a good point. Yeah, Mystic
Um,
Vale was first, and then this one isn't as good as Mystic Vale. But for a small box game, it's unique and it's really fun.
but also completely different animal. I mean, the only thing they have in common, two things they have in common: designer and card customization. That's it.
Card crafting. Yeah,
Everything
but
else is completely different.
think about how many good card crafting games he has now. Like he
Um,
laid the groundwork with Mystic Vale, but now he's got Empire's End, and of course Dead Reckoning, and I've heard great things about both of those. Not Empire's End, it's After the Darkness. Empire's End is his newest one that's now fulfilling. After the Darkness is his other card crafting game. It's in a
Edge of
big
Darkness.
box.
I've got it in
Edge
my
of
shrink.
Darkness.
In
Thank
shrink. I
you.
haven't played yet.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, he's just become one of my favorite designers because of Cubitos and Ready Set Bet. I absolutely love those games. I played the heck out of Mystic Vale on Steam. So yeah, I wanted to give my man some love with Custom
I
Heroes.
am
It's
I
really
am
fun.
still dying to play Cubitos, but I 1,000,000% love Ready Set Bet.
I
Like so
think
much.
Cubitos is really, the more I think about it, really going to be up your alley. The more I think about it, it's really good.
Well, I know Dan kept saying, "Oh, it's like Warriors. It's like Warriors. It's like Warriors." Well, here's the thing. Spoiler alert. I also love Warriors because I think it's really cool, but I also like Dice Masters, and games like that. So, um, yeah, man, I'm here for it. I feel like games like that
Nice.
were made.
Evan talking them up. Yeah, I'm glad to hear about Empire's End. That Bob's got that one, so you can bet we'll get a review of that. Again, John DeClaire has
Well,
become one of my favorite designers.
I mean,
Love
get
what he's
ready,
making.
then get set, and then bet.
Ready Set Bet is maybe my favorite party game. It is my favorite party game now. I'll call it a party game. I'll play that with even 3, and I'll have a blast.
Mhm.
Uh, I've made a huge version that I still haven't used.
I know.
I know it's not totally complete, but it's playable. It is playable.
Right.
Love Ready Set Bet. Cubitos became one of my favorite games of all time last year. I played that game 20 times last year. I freaking love it. Anyway, John DeClaire, love that dude's games. I just think he just keeps crushing it. So yeah, this one is not as good as those others, but it's still really, really good. And it's really not like nothing else you've played. All right, all right. I'm going on a tangent on all mine tonight, but again, these have been games that we don't talk about much, so
Mhm.
giving them their light. You'll get some more familiar ones from here forward.
Dude, I'm king of hipster pick. No judgment here.
All right, number 7.
All right. I don't know if Reed is still watching, but Reed, if you're watching, I mean this. Guys, we discovered this game at Origins. I believe it was for sale at Origins. Maybe it was released either right before or maybe even at Origins. Tin Robot Games is the publisher. Reed, who I became friends with because of his game, Vigilante. The next game of his that I played, holy crap, super fun, adorable game, and but so straightforward and easy to play, and it's a freaking steal for the price, and that is Catnip Auction House, baby. This game's so much fun. I love it. Even the hardest of hearts has to laugh at Mubaka and the other cats that you can be in this game. We're all cats and we're bidding on different things. Hey, that's that. Well, I'm not in that picture, but that was us at Origins. Um,
Yeah.
we're bidding on these items that, of course, cats want, but different cats have each individual cat has a different unique item that they want to win. So they get extra points if they win. What are points? Oh, points are catnip because it's on theme, right? But also you need to spend your catnip to bid on the items that you want. Um, this game's super fun. It's very breezy, and I enjoy it quite a bit. And again, it's a small box. It's a low dollar amount to get in. It's very accessible because unless the people you're trying to introduce the game to hate cats, which then why are you friends with them? I think that you're fine, because even people that don't love cats will still chuckle at the different cat names for the characters that you can be. Anyway, super fun game. Really enjoy it. And I just feel like there's a lot of value here because, again, we are coming into prime family and in law season, with Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. This game is going to be in my game bag every time I go over to somebody's house over the next 2 months because I'm going to be able to get it played and
Yeah.
I'm going to have fun playing it. And they're probably going to want their own copy of it. So to me, that is, there's a ton of value there. And yeah, for sure, Reed is my friend. But if I didn't like his game, I just wouldn't even talk about it. I'm lucky to call people like Reed my friend. But no, it's even better when my friends make badass games and I get to talk about it on my show. So, Catnip Auction House, super good. It's my number 7. It's very fun, and I like it quite a bit.
Good pick. And I even got to show off our Origins pictures on the BGG entry, which was fun.
I played it at
James
Origins and was like, I must have this game.
James is asking if he missed any hipster picks. Yes, my number. Wait a minute. What number are we on?
You're going to be saying your number 7 in a minute.
Did we skip number 8?
No, my number 8 was Arboretum.
Oh, never mind. Let's see what I did.
Listen, dude. So my hipster pick, my number 10 was Pocket Paragon. Pocket Paragons. That's the only one you've missed so far of mine. Mike.
My hipster pick was Gift of Tulips because even Tim hadn't heard of it. And I hadn't even heard of it when I played it for the first time Sunday. Check out Gift of Tulips. Good stuff.
Sean, what are you talking
I
about?
got-
Where have all the reviews been at? Are you talking about like for Empire's End, or are you just asking if because our videos have been coming out slower? Just wondering.
I
Because I'm gonna
think
because if it's why the videos are slower, when you see our top 10 spooky games list, you will see why the videos have been coming out slower. Right, Mike?
no. Well, yes, that is true. I'm looking.
And yeah, Mike had a
Well,
hipster. Mike did have a hipster pick. So
yeah,
he's trying to steal my
he
thunder.
is probably talking about Empire's End because
Okay.
there's no current reviews.
Oh,
All
sure.
of the reviews appear to be from when the Kickstarter campaign was live. So hint, hint, Bob, let's get that learned and let's get content out for it. Little
So
studio talk.
yeah, so Sean, we have a new editor and he does really, really amazing work. I think you guys will see that. But you know, he's still learning the ropes and you know, feeling his way around the studio and kind of just um getting up to speed as far as like putting his touches on it. But I think you guys will all be happy with the stuff, and we are working on getting it all out faster. So
Actually,
totally fair
our
question.
spooky games top 10, we should be releasing what, tomorrow?
I hope so. Yeah. Yeah. We just
And
need a thumbnail from it for it, right? Again,
we
shop
need a
talk, but that's
thumbnail.
fine. Um,
No, we
it,
have one now.
okay. So yeah,
It can
tomorrow
go
then.
live now.
It could go live now.
Yeah,
But we
it
won't
could.
do it now because we want everybody here. Because I guarantee you,
Right.
you're going to go watch that video and you're going to be like, damn. And you're going to watch that video. So, and it was a fun list. I really think, I mean, you know how we are. We all pick on each other. We all have a good time. But there's some really fun moments in that top 10. I was very proud of that list. And it's really well produced. You'll see. Anyways, sorry, Mike. What is your number 7? My number 7 was Catnip Auction House.
I got confused because Custom Heroes was supposed to be my number 7, and I realized that was my 8. So my number 8 is now my number 7. I played
Yeah,
it.
lists are arbitrary.
Papa Soup taught it to us in Warsaw.
Oh, I like
And
this game.
And it completely replaced Point Salad for me, and it's Point City. Point City, you can easily get online for $25.
I want to buy this game. I want to buy
Yes,
this game. Yeah.
it's one of those. It is so much better than Point Salad.
Never played.
Because it is not just grabbing cards and collecting sets. Now there's like these civic tiles that you can grab that can change how you score, and the variety of scoring in this one is very there's like an extra level of variety and scoring in this one compared to Point Salad. It
It
100% slaughters Point Salad for me.
and
It is a
it kind
much
of
better
has
game.
it kind of has a splendor feel to it too, with the way that you're building your engine, right? Because some of the buildings
Yeah,
the cards you get will give you an ongoing resource, right? Which will then allow you to buy other things. Yeah, I
yeah.
thought this was really good. Point
Point
City
Salad
was really good.
was simply just collect these cards, and then other cards will tell you how those will score.
Okay.
But this one is each one of those icons will allow you to get these buildings here, and these buildings can lead to these point scoring tiles. Just slaughters Point Salad for me, and I enjoyed Point Salad. I think for me, I'm almost to that point of where like I've seen enough, I've played enough of Point Salad that I'm okay. I'll probably end up selling or trading my copy, honestly,
Sure.
um, because Point City is just that much better. But I did enjoy Point Salad. That's one to check out too. But I don't know. Just play Point City.
Yeah, that Point City was really good. I would like to have that in my collection because again, satisfying. I could get it played. I could get it played with about anybody.
Yeah.
Very easy to teach. Yeah, Papa Soup taught it to us. It was really fun, and that was when we were in Warsaw, and just thought it was a really good game. Really enjoyed it. Did I? Oh, I might have won that game as well. Did I win that one?
Don't make me look.
Oh boy.
Don't make me look. Hold on. I'm not going to use BG stats. We're gonna see how it was. No, Papa Soup won Bad Teacher Award.
Bad
47
teacher.
to 44 to 38.
So I was close. I was close.
Yeah, nice try, Tim. I keep the
Oh.
receipts.
Well done, sir. As you should, clearly, because I am not one to be trusted. Well done. Well done. Love it. Love it.
I knew you'd like that one.
Oh,
one of the
shit,
few
that was
people that
good.
would appreciate that one.
That was good, man. That was really good.
All right, all right. Let's move on to number 6.
All right. Here's my hipster pick. Again, this is a game that I played and loved. Full disclosure. They sent us this game for a review. I played it and loved it before I knew the designer, but then because the designer saw our review, reached out to us, and then we became friends with him.
I know this one.
Do you know what it is?
Yes, I do.
It's the other roll and write that I actually really love and enjoy playing quite a bit.
Not the one I thought.
Ah,
I still know what it is.
this is my hipster pick, though. This is my hipster pick. And if I was smart, I would have made it my number 7 instead of my number 6. But it's my number 6. And that is Seven Bridges by Ron Holiday. Our boy Ron, we became friends because he's just genuinely an amazing human being, and I just he's a great dude. But Seven Bridges is a very cool roll and write where you're trying to go through this town and you're trying to, I forget what town it is. My copy of the game's right over there. Used to be over here, but then I alphabetized and then moved all my small boxes into different areas. But anyways, you're trying to, it was like a math problem where you cross all 7 bridges without doubling back, right?
Exactly.
Over your path.
It's Königsberg.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. So anyways, this is a very cool roll and write because what you're rolling is basically the path and you're going to draw that in on your map. And it's really cool, really fun. And we all genuinely enjoyed this game. And it's kind of funny. A game about like traversing this little map and filling it in was made by a cartographer. But yeah, we played and loved this game, and then turns out the design, we just became friends with the designer by, I don't know, accident, luck, whatever. But he lives in Brazil. He's a Canadian that lives in Brazil. What are you going to do? But yeah, great dude. Love his game. Love both of his games that I played. But Seven Bridges, 1,000,000% on my list. I love it and have a great time with it. So, and more people need to know about it.
Maybe because I haven't played it yet and you need to teach me. But
hipster pick.
A stroll and write game in
Stroll.
Königsberg.
Yeah, stroll and write.
Nicely done there, Ron. Need to play this one.
Oh, David, you're gonna make me quote the Big Lebowski. Man, I hate the Eagles. Remember when he gets in the cab and that cabbie's playing the Eagles and he's bitching about the Eagles and then the cabbie kicks him out of the cab because he doesn't like the Eagles. I don't know. It's a small part of that movie. It's not even one of the 10 best scenes in that movie, but I still always think of that scene. Anyways.
All right, good pick, but you need to teach me that one.
Will do. You need to teach me tulips. whatever that one was
Oh,
called. I
I
already
gotta
forgot
buy
what it was
it, and
called.
I gladly will. Yeah, it's really cool.
Tulips for my
Play it with
friend.
anybody. Gift of Tulips.
Gift of tulips. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I went with the German translation.
Oh.
I don't know. I just made that up.
Okay. So this is one I've been talking about lately because since I bought it for $10 at Origins, I just keep playing it. It's made my always in the bag list because it's always in the bag. I've been showing it to a lot of people. I taught it to my parents, and they immediately asked if it plays at two players, meaning they want it.
Nice.
And when that happens again, it just makes you feel really good. And this game is criminally underrated. And this is Reiner Knizia's longboard from
Oh,
25th Century Games. I freaking love this game. Now, this is based on the original Lost Cities, a card game, which is a classic two-player game. I have played Lost Cities, the card game, 50 times, and I've played all of those plays were within about a year and a half. Okay. Longboard is a four-player adaptation, and the basic concept of Lost Cities and Longboard is that you are building surfboards, which is going to be your tableau, and you
hmm.
have to play those cards in ascending order. Now, there's multiples of each color and number, and you can play the same number on it, which, yeah, you see that over here with the ones being on each other. But you have to play them in ascending order. But you're not always going to get dealt the ones. Sometimes you're going to get dealt threes, and you're like, do I just put that down now, or do I wait to get a one or a two? Because you have to get your boards four cards deep before they score points, or you lose points for them. So you don't just
Hmm.
want to throw cards down. You need to make sure you can get four of one color. There's wilds that can help you out. But what they did in this game that was so smart, Lost Cities, was just simply deal both players 10 cards. You have to play a card or discard a card, then draw a card. And you're playing to your different suits. This game perfectly turned it into a four-player game by saying, okay, everybody gets dealt two cards that are face up here in your build area. Then you can take cards from the build area into your tableau where they will score for you as long as you have four or more in your board. But you can steal from other players. If you
Hmm.
put a card into another player's build area, you can play a card that's higher than the number they have, and then you can steal that card from their tableau and immediately build it onto one of your boards. So it's like this
Hmm.
double whammy, you know. But the thing is, you're giving up a higher card, so you may be giving up a seven to get a two just so you can start a board. Man, longboard is good. I really
Yeah.
love this game. I love the simplicity. I love Lost Cities, and this is a perfect adaptation of four-player Lost Cities. I really like how your cards up here are in danger of being stolen. You're not stuck with what you were dealt. You can swap cards with people and immediately put it into your tableau. So there's this
Yes.
tension of, well, I better hurry up and put this card in my tableau, or someone's going to steal it from me. And you don't want to give people cards they can use when you steal.
Uh,
On top of that, you've also got community objectives that you're trying to score. That's these here. It may be whoever's got the longest board of one color. Man, longboard's great. I can't stop talking about it. I can't stop playing it. This is a great value. $10 at Origins, $15 online. My goodness. Yeah. Evan, just go get Longboard, man. It's really good. If you like Lost Cities enough to play it online, dude, you need to get Longboard in your collection. I love it.
yeah, it was really good. We played it at your house, you and Jonathan and I think we played like two or three games, like right in a row. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Super easy to learn. And I think we all had a really good time and enjoyed it quite a bit.
It's become like one of my go-to fillers. I just keep bringing it because I know while people are figuring out what to play, we can play this, you know.
Oh,
really
Lord.
good. You guys, man, the puns.
They're
Oh,
strong, dude.
I'm getting punished by puns tonight is what's happening here. So all right, we're gonna get to number 5 and Mike shall
Mm.
return.
All right. Well, I love that you wait to come back before you take off. While Mike ditches his Cubs snuggie, uh, I feel like this list is it would be incomplete without a version of werewolf on here because yeah, I hope he doesn't get sharked. With a version without a version of werewolf, this list isn't any good. There's some really good value werewolf games on there. I mean, werewolf is the quintessential social deduction game. An honorable mention, it's not actually on the list, but is a lot of value there. But it's the most bare bones version of the game. But I've gotten a lot of miles out of my $10 copy. Is the Wolves of Miller's Hollow? Not my pick. That one, it gives you everything you need to play werewolf. But honestly, you could play werewolf with a deck of regular playing cards. You just say the two jacks are the wolves, the ace is the sheriff, and then you just use number cards as townsfolk. Anyways, because we used to play Mafia that way. Anyways, but so for a better, more in-depth version of a classic game, and but still is going to give you that werewolf feel. And yeah, Edward Lasso, Bang the Dice game is totally an honorable mention as well. Great deduction game. But mine, I'm going to go hipster on you because this is one that you
I
really,
haven't even
really,
said it yet.
more people know. I was stretching, dude.
Oh,
Uh,
appreciate it.
is Wolves of Mercia. Bang for your
Oh,
buck. Bang for your buck. Small box. This is my favorite version of Werewolf. This is a great social deduction game, and Wolves of Mercia. It gives you different options. It gives you a daytime and a nighttime character. You're not out of it if you get killed because there's ghost cards. And I don't know. This game just does so many things right. I legitimately enjoy it. It's I don't want to make people mad by saying it's better than Blood on the Clock Tower, but it's more accessible than Blood on the Clock Tower. A, the barrier to entry. B, the time commitment. C, the teach. Wolves of Mercia is so accessible. It just takes what I liked about Wolves of Miller's Hollow, which is the most basic, straightforward version of werewolf. I don't like One Night Ultimate Werewolf, will not be on my list. I know Mike does like One Night. But anyways, but for Wolves of Mercia to get that werewolf vibe and to get that experience, really fun. And the daytime characters really make everybody have interesting choices to make. And I really like it, really appreciate it. So really good. And okay, Werewolf Inquisition Berry. All right. If you can find it, good at low player counts. Rare, right? For a social deduction game. I will say honorable mention, also good at lower player count social deduction was Hollywood 1947, which I had on a list like 2 weeks ago. But
actually, it looks like Werewolf Inquisition is even available on Amazon currently
uh-oh.
for $25. Now, I'm interested, and the reason that my mouth dropped when you mentioned Wolves of Mercia. First, let me say I did enjoy this game.
But
But there's enough going on that in the first game I wasn't sure how to bluff.
oh sure.
I really wasn't. Like I enjoyed it. I want to play it again. I really want to play it more. And I bought it based on your guys' recommendation because it is criminally underrated.
Way underrated. It's my hipster pick, dude. People need to know about this game.
Yeah, Wolves of Mercia is rated 15,163. It's insane. It is good. It's just it's got a couple extra layers above what you're expecting because you have two different roles.
Right.
Um, this one caught
100%.
me off guard. I have to play it again to really say how much I liked it.
And the two different roles is what makes it interesting, really makes it
Hmm.
interesting because it
Definitely.
really can help dictate how you play the game.
No, this is a great pick. You haven't talked about this one in a while, so I kind of forgot about it. My jaw dropped because I forgot to put One Night Ultimate Werewolf on my list.
I thought it'd be on your list, Mike, because I know you love that game, and I know I don't, but I wasn't going to give you a hard time about a game you love. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
you love it. You love a game, you get it played. Hell yeah! And honestly,
Um,
I need to play. I need to play One Night again. You know, to be completely
mhm.
honest, especially because the people that I played One Night with before, probably a suboptimal group.
Like
So
all social deduction games, they are group dependent. And
yes,
you know, with the optimal group, we could really have some fun with that one. Um,
probably. Yeah.
It is super simple, but it was also the first social deduction game I ever played. And I had a
Nice.
group that was playing it consistently to start the night for months.
It's a great
And
icebreaker.
so I've just enjoy it. I like teaching it to new people. I like seeing how different people play it. That's one of the things I like about building familiarity into a social deduction game is I
Hmm.
know what kind of bluffs people will start to try and pull off. And I like seeing how people I've never played with try to bluff me. That is a fascinating mechanic of social
Oh, it's so
deduction
much
games.
fun. How do you lie to strangers? Oh, I
Mhm.
love
Love it. I love that.
All right, Mike, I'm going to
But
return the favor when you do your number five.
oh, that's fine. As far as you gotta go pee?
Yeah,
Okay. You gonna leave when I do my number 5?
I sure
I
am, but I'm
got
going to take my iPad so I can hear it at least.
okay, I got busted. Andrew, I was not taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. I was
but
doing my best R. Kelly impression with the porcelain up there.
but
So
it'd be
unfortunately, I
cooler if
don't
you
have a
did.
bathroom in my basement. I have to go upstairs to go. But yes, that's what happened. I had to break the seal. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Barry. And that's, there's a lot of games that can be group dependent, but social games, social deduction games inherently implies that the group that you're being social with will determine your enjoyment of the game. That's okay with me. I like trying those kind of games with people. And yeah, Evan, the salesman Mike came out on that longboard pick. No secret, I've been in sales for 20 years. Sold a lot today. I've been on a roll today, if you can't tell. So there you go. Wolves of Mercedes. Oh goodness. What's funny is every time I see Wolves of Mercia, I think Wolves of America. I've seen that. Like I just want to automatically flip the C in the I. It's Wolves America. Um, yeah, so there you go. My number 5. I have said before that this is my favorite deck building game for games that are just deck building. And I wanted to give this one some love because it's actually currently out of print. If you've ever considered getting this game, now is the time. I think this is, in my opinion, the best deck building game I have played that is just cards, and that's Shards of Infinity. Shards of Infinity is a fantastic deck building game. This is from the team that brought you all of the Ascension games. They just did a Kickstarter campaign where they threw all the expansions plus new content into one Kickstarter. That's Gary Arant and Justin Gary, the Ascension Tactics designers and uh, Ascension deck building game designers there. I will say though, cap the play at 3 unless you have very familiar players. It can drag a bit at 4. I really like it at 2 and 3. And it's just straight up, yeah, Tim. Yeah, I haven't played it in a while. I bought this for someone, and as you can see, I racked up 21 plays of it. Let's just go ahead and make myself a fan. When we did our top 50, I played this game so much last year, it made my top 20. I really like this game. It's simply battle royale, the deck builder. You got hit points. Um, so does everybody else. Eliminate them before they eliminate you. And it's just really, really good. Man, it's fantastic. There's still copies available. You can actually go online. I mean, heck, you're going to see me scrolling down the BGG here. You won't find it on Amazon because it's not that readily available. Uh, and more recent copies are people trying to price gouge, knowing that it is currently out of print. But you can go a little bit further back, and you'll be able to find some used copies on eBay for like under 25. I thought I saw. Anyway, get it before it's completely gone, or get that reprint when it comes out. Shards of Infinity is fantastic, but keep the player account under 3 or it drags a bit. Especially if somebody's going with the healing strategy, which is 100% viable, but by essence drags the game on because the goal is to eliminate hit points and you just keep regenerating them. So no 4 players with a healer, especially.
I mean, this game sings it too. It's best
Yes,
for me,
it is
best of
best of
2,
2.
but freaking fantastic game.
Yes. All the strategies are viable. Heal strategy feels really good. The strict damage strategy feels really good. You can combo, the damage with the deck culling.
How about rushing the
The
power
mastery.
strategy?
The mastery strategy. So what's really cool about this game is that there's an insta kill card, but you have to build up to it. So there's this extra resource that you can build up called mastery. If you get it up to 30 and you draw that one card, it's an insta kill. It's a shard reactor, and that reactor maxes out at 30 mastery. And you play that card, game over.
It felt real good to hit you with that the first time you and I played that game.
Yeah, I'm sure it did, Tim. Let's go on to our number 4. It destroyed me with that. I was like, holy crap, you got the shard reactor maxed out. What the heck? I don't even think I had you down to like 20 hit points yet. It
felt so good, dude.
Yeah, You know what's funny is I accidentally hit that, but it worked perfectly because it cut you off from enjoying destroying me in that game.
I loved
I
it.
still love it though. I need to get a copy. I gifted it to someone and then played their copy 21 times.
All right. My number 4, in case Jim Cole's still watching. Total hipster pick. Oh, this game is on my list because it is social deduction, but it is more than that because it matters where you're sitting. Because only your neighbors can infect you. This game is based loosely on The Thing, which Mike just played this weekend and rewatched the movie. This game is called Stay Away from Pendragon Studios. This is a small rectangular box. The artwork is fantastic. You can only pass cards to the left and the right, but there are event cards that are going to come up and make people change seats. That's the box right there. This game's super fun. The artwork's hilarious. And I enjoy this game quite a bit. Not everybody's cup of tea, but man, when I get the right group for this game, I'm freaking playing it because it's a blast. It's super fun. I mean, there's nothing like taking a flamethrower to somebody you think is suspicious, or building a barricade between you and your neighbors so they can't pass you cards. I mean, it's so good. It's so much fun. I really enjoy this game quite a bit. I don't know how available it is anymore. There was a Kickstarter. I actually had missed the Kickstarter emailed them. This was years ago. Emailed them and was like, "Hey, I just missed your Kickstarter. Can I still get a copy?" And then had one. They were able to, I paid for it, but was able to get a copy. Awesome small box game. I played this a ton. I've got it sleeved. I've gotten so much enjoyment out of this game, and it's very cool.
There might be a problem. It looks like it could be a little hard to get.
Mm-mm.
Might be a little hard to get.
Uh-oh.
There's no English copies available on BGG. So you might, at least I was able to still find copies of Shards of Infinity. So you may have to sub that one out, Tim. Nice hipster try.
Okay, so my alternate number 4 then. Because Stay Away, that would be my number 4. But if you can't get it,
you can't.
Cryptozoic, creators of DC Deck Builder, have another series of games that I absolutely love. They come out in a small box. These games are mean, they're gross, they're funny. They play better at least at like 4, sometimes even 5 players. And that is Epic Spell Wars. Pick your flavor. I don't care which one you do. You can do Battle at Skullfire Mountain. There's I don't know. There's 3 or 4 of them. They're all pretty accessible, but Epic Spell Wars, super fun. You're playing cards from your hand and you're stringing together spells, and the more of the same like elements of the spell, like the same elemental traits, you're going to make the spells more powerful, and you're literally just trying to blast your opponents in these crazy ways. And the way the cards all lay next to each other, they create like a long piece of artwork, which is like actually your spell sort of unfolding. And you need to have basically a beginning, middle, and end to it. Super fun. Like I said, really gross, but absolutely hilarious. I have 2 of these. I really want there's a kind of a perverse one. That was the 3rd expansion, standalone expansion, if you will.
There's a bunch of them now.
Yeah, there's a few of them. They've had a few Kickstarters. There's like Epic Spell Wars Armageddon, or Annihilageddon. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That's not even in English though. That's not the. Yeah.
Annihilageddon.
Annihilageddon. Yeah. Yeah, so these games are super fun, super gross. Not for everybody because the artwork is really gross on it, but it's really fun and just hilarious to read the names of the spells that you create, because each card is just part of a spell, and so it gives you part of the title. So the joy is definitely reading the whole spell's title and then going through the effects and the multipliers and what they do. And just laying waste to some of your best friends. So
Cam and Nakira's Two-Faced Cone of Acid, for example, as one of your spell names there.
Yep.
Nice. This is one I've always wanted to play simply because of the art. And you can tell the game's not taking itself too seriously.
Not at all.
I love this style of art. Really like that. Good pick.
So that's my number 4, since I can't have Stay Away. But Epic Spell Wars also sort of under the radar, right? So it's still
is. Yeah, I mean, heck, that version was rated an 8. That Nacho Legend version I looked up had a rating of an 8, but it had so few ratings it was still in the thousands on its overall ranking. That's a good pick. Definitely 2 hipster picks at number 4. I got to play that one. All right, my number 4 is by one of our favorite designers. And I did say R. This was the roll and write that got me to finally start checking out roll and writes, and that is That's Pretty Clever. This is the simplest roll and write that you may find. It's really just like Yahtzee on crack, as a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people call it, or Yahtzee on acid. And that's fine because it's really satisfying building up these point combos in this game, and you're simply just draft rolling what, 5 dice, and then you're gonna 6 dice, and you're gonna pick 3 of them, and then the other players are going to get to activate what you leave out
Mm-hmm.
that you did not pick. But you don't want to take high numbers because any number lower than what you take is gone. The other players get to choose them. So you want to take a low number, and then you're going to re-roll, then draft, then re-roll, then draft, and then you pick your 3 dice, and then you'll activate them. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just really satisfying working up the combos in this game because it is perfect. Just I'm going to scratch here, and that allows me to scratch there, which is going to give me an in-game bonus, but also lets me put a 5 here, and now I've unlocked that. That is so satisfying in roll and writes. And Ganshon Clever, that's pretty clever, does that perfectly well. As you can see, I've played it 20 times. Pretty much all of that was just in the last year and a half. And there's 4 of them, and I haven't
Mm-hmm.
played the other 3. There's Twice as Clever, there's Clever Forever, and there's Clever Cubed. And I don't even think the original is the highest rated one anymore. I think one of the other ones passed it. But this game, I don't care that it's simple. It's really good,
It is.
and it's really great to teach to people. I just want to look here. Which one is okay? Twice as Clever. Oh no, so the original is ranked 160. Twice as Clever is 390. So all of these games are good, man. And the thing is, as far as portability, yes, I took this game to Alaska and played it. Why? Because you can print out your own score sheets, and then all you need is a marker and those 6 dice. That's it. You can put that in any box you want. You can just have that. You can just put all that into a Ziploc and then put that in a backpack. That's what I did. It's one of the most portable games of all time, and it just has a ton of replayability because of the combinations and how the dice get rolled. It's super satisfying for how simple it is, and it has tons of replayability.
Oh yeah, totally different strategies you can adapt as you play through, and yeah,
Yeah,
really good.
like every color activates differently and can be its own strategy every time you play it. I'm going to go really heavy on the blue this time. Man, it's just really good. I need to try the other ones for sure.
Me
I
too.
need to get. Apparently, I just need to pick up Twice as Clever. But any of those, you can't go wrong, guys. Wolfgang Warsch, you make fantastic games, sir, and this is one of them. All right, number 3.
I think my number 3 is only it could have been my number 1, but it's my number 3 because I can't believe this game is like $25 every time I try to go to buy it. And it's not that I just need to buy it, it's that I need to buy it a second time because I can't find my copy of Marvel Remix. Marvel
Oh!
Remix is so damn good. It's really good. I mean, if you want Fantasy Realms because you don't like Marvel, fine. You're going to do just as well. If you like Red Rising because you read those books, fine. Works just as well. But man, Marvel Remix for me does everything right. I enjoy this game. Even when it's going badly, it does not overstay its welcome. It's so good. I really enjoy it quite a bit. You are drawing cards until there's 10 cards that have been discarded. You can either take a card from the tableau, or you can draw a card and discard a card, right? You've always got to discard a card. And yeah, anyways, this game is very fast. There's never enough time to sort of build that perfect hand because you're going off all these different, basically the different tags on the cards, which are going to allow you to score points. But you also have to have a supervillain in your hand, which if you don't have the right tags in your hand could make for negative points. But you can draw new supervillains, so there's a way to mitigate that. Anyways, super fun. Really enjoyed this game. This was one of my favorite games from last year. And yeah, Marvel Remix. Thank you, David. Marvel Remix. Really good. Lots of value there. I need to actually, before I rebuy it, make sure my in-laws still don't have my copy. Because maybe I left it there.
That's a great. Yeah,
No,
you need
yeah,
to, you should double check. That's a great pick, Tim. I left it as an honorable mention because I knew you'd talk about it, and for good reason. It is fantastic. Of course, this re-implements Fantasy Realms and improves it in every single way.
yeah.
It supports 6. It plays in 20 minutes. It's $20. And I actually have Fantasy Realms based on your guys' recommendation. I
Awesome
bought it
game.
cheap last year, played it like 10 times. Then, before I went on that trip that I talk about all the time, that I packed a bunch of games for, I bought Marvel Remix and packed it for that trip. And I've already got 7 plays of that in just a month and a half. It is so good. Marvel Remix is fantastic.
But honestly, if you end up with Fantasy Realms, you still have a badass game.
Yes.
Super good, really interesting, and tons of fun. I just happen to prefer Marvel Remix.
I do too. I still think it's better in every way. Holy crap, he's got over 1,000 plays of this. Oh my word. Are those real plays, Evan, or are you talking BGA? No, you got to be talking about real plays.
They're in
That
the
is
same house, dude. Super easy to do.
Yeah, no,
You
you're
could play
right.
4 or 5 games. You could play 4 or 5 games of that like really quick.
No, you're right. You're right. You with 2 players, you can play 5 games in an hour of that game.
Easy.
I mean, this is why I played Lost Cities 50 times in a year when I was living with someone. So, all right,
Yeah.
good pick, good pick.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. That's amazing. My goodness. Wow. I have never played any game that many times. That is crazy.
I wish I could get my wife to play a game with me after dinner every night.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that for sure. I tend to like wear out of games fast. I need to switch stuff out, and take a break from games. I feel like I've played too much. But yeah, just getting the opportunity to play games that frequently, I don't think I'd scoff at that chance. All right, my number 3, another one I've talked about a lot because it's just really good. It is my favorite trick-taking game. You could pick either of the versions, but I think the new one is better, and that is the Crew Mission Deep Sea. I think I finally won Tim over on that one because we played it at Tabletop Adventure Fest in Warsaw last month. Tim has told me every time we've talked about this game, he didn't think he got a good play of it. And I think he finally got a chance to see this game sing when we got to play it. It's just really good. It's a cooperative trick-taking game, and you've got most of the time one mission, and the team wins if the player succeeds in their mission, which oftentimes will be something like you must win a trick that has the pink 5 in it. Well, that is one player's mission, but the whole team is working together to make sure that that player achieves that mission. Sometimes that happens on like the first trick, which did happen in one of the rounds we played. Sometimes it's the very last card, and that tension of like, am I leading the right thing on that last card? It's beautiful. I love the tension in the Crew, and it gets progressively harder as you go. It's got an extra, I guess, logbook, I think they call it, and you start with 1 mission card, then 2 mission cards, 3 mission cards, then 4 mission cards. And then stuff like, okay, pick a person. That person cannot win a trick the entire game. Or, hey, one person has to win all the tricks that game. So good. It is the trick taker I will always choose first. Both versions are great, but I definitely do prefer the new version, Deep Sea.
Yeah, And again, I was very clear with my experience and why I thought I didn't like it and stuff like that. And the nice thing about most of the guys in our group is that we all are, I mean, we just want to play games. So if we've got to give something a second chance, or if we've got to try something we don't think we like, then yeah, we're going to try it out, right? We're going to do it again. And yeah, Mike, I mean, I definitely had a much better time with the crew playing it with you guys down in Warsaw. So, you
It's
know,
just a blast.
and
I
there
do
was,
want to.
I think the only time I didn't like it was that there was very clear that there was at least one scenario where we could not win.
Yeah,
And
that's
and
rare.
and that happens. But
It does.
again, it's not like I'm playing a Twilight Imperium, you know what I mean, for 6 hours, and then all of the sudden, well, oh, now we can't win. What? Like, that's bullshit. We built up for this long. Like, no. I get it.
It's over in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, Tim, I find that that does happen, and it's very few and far between. I often find when I lose, you can retrace and you can go, okay, had you taken that trick and then you led, and then they
Mhm.
would have trumped it, and then they would have taken turn order. Those kind of thought processes that you go through in the game, and then even after you're done playing, where you're kind of sussing out with your team like what you could have done differently to win that mission. Again, I think is one of the things that makes it really, really stand out as a trick taker, and why it is so highly rated. But no, it's a valid point. It can happen sometimes that within 2 or 3 tricks you realize you cannot win.
Right.
But it
Right.
is rare, but it did happen when we played it.
Hmm.
Yeah, the crew's awesome, guys. You can get it easily for $15. Go get it if you don't have it and you like Trick Takers. Home run, in my opinion. All right, Tim. Our top 2 best values that come in small boxes. Looking forward to you digging under the table to grab that huge box that you're going to try to sneak into this list.
You ready?
Yes. Number 2.
All right, everybody, don't get motion sickness. See that giant box right there that says Ogre right behind this extension cord hanging? That's my number 2. Just kidding. I've never played that game, but I do own it. And it's the largest box game that I own. It's the Ogre Designers Edition. No, not on my list. But what is on my list is, here's the thing. Yes, this will be a hipster pick and it will be hard to get. There's a readily available edition, but I can't verify the size of the box. So I'm going to tell you my version, but you can go buy the other version and you will have the game that I strongly recommend. Again, this is a game where I sort of became friends with the designer because I loved his game and I just kept bothering him. And like, the fun thing about board games is that, like, a lot of these designers are just dudes and they're happy that people like their stuff. I mean, we're going to talk about right, Evan. Evan's just one of those guys. Like, designs a game we all love and admire, and then it's like, oh no, he just loves hanging out with us, and he's a cool dude. I'm talking about Growl, designed by Joey Vigor. Growl is this big. I have a Kickstarter version of it. Growl is super fun. It's a social deduction game, but the way Growl works is that you're going through this deck of cards and you reveal a card and you have to give it to somebody. It could be a wound, which might kill them. It could be a bite, which might be in danger of turning them into a werewolf. It could be gold, which is going to give them points. It could be a salve, which could heal a wound. It could be a charm, which can negate a bite. all of these things. If this game is all table talk, it's all negotiation, it's all bluffing. It's super fun. I absolutely love this game. And then found out that Joey was able to get this game signed by Asmodee and reprinted. So if you can't find Growl, which is the version I love, you could get Stranger Things Attack of the Mind Flayer, and the theme still works. And I think everybody that if you're a Stranger Things fan, this is a great game to have in your collection, because you're going to get, that's the version I have, Mike, which still technically qualifies, but that's the European release. If you get it,
that box looks different.
If you get it in the States, it looks different. It's more your standard game size box. It might be a little more shallow.
Yeah, I can't even find that box.
And but so David, do I think I would treat designers would really treat me the same if I were? So that's funny you bring this up, because this is a perfect example of this, David. I met Joey for the first time, Joey Vigor, the designer of this game, at a Gen Con. I don't know, it was like 2015, 2016. I was a fan of his game that was called Chaosmos. This was way before I was a content creator. I went to his booth and I said, dude, I love Chaosmos, blah, blah, blah. We're talking about it. And he gives me a promo card, and we're just BSing. And I 100% believe that Joey, because Joey treated me the exact same that day as he did when I went to him as a content creator and said, hey man, can we talk to you about any of your upcoming stuff? And that was because we saw Joey at Gen Con last year, not this one, Gen Con 2022. Joey had a booth. He was sharing a booth with somebody. And I was like, I just got to tell you this funny story. When I first met you, I came to a Gen Con, you had a little booth. You had this game that I was a fan of. You know, I talked to you for probably 10 minutes because nobody was around and we're just kind of BSing. I'm just going to tell you, these guys are all just guys. Evan is a dude. Evan didn't know us from anybody. And when we got to meet Evan at Origins, it was not only a delight, but that guy instantly just became like a friend of ours, right? Like, hey, what are you doing later? We're going to play a game? Great. There was no feeling of like, what's the word? Where it's just self-promotion. It never felt like that. I will tell you that I didn't really know Jim that well. Jim's saying something right here, right? I didn't know Jim that well at all. I couldn't have picked Jim out of a lineup, but he had sent us a preview copy of the game. He found us at Gen Con, and then I got talking with Jim. Jim came over. We filmed a playthrough. He and Bob and I, like anybody, when you sit down and you just play a fun game at a table, you guys bond, you know, you guys have a good time. You have a story to tell. And, you know, I would just say we became fast friends because of that, you know. And then Jim becomes friends with Mike and I, you know, he comes on the show. We're chatting, you know, with Jim all the time. We're BSing with him. Jim's in our Discord. I mean, all these guys are in our Discord. These are just guys that are just excited. I mean, Evan said it best. He's just a nerd excited about nerd stuff, you know, and wants to talk about other dudes.
Evan, that was exactly what I was going to say, is that everybody I have met in this industry, except for one, is super friendly, approachable, people I want to hang out with, people I want to play games with. And I got to tell you, the opposite end of what you said here is that as a content creator, or really just as a person, I love playing a designer's game and then watching their reaction to me going, you know, that light bulb moment in every game. You're like, oh, that's the strategy I can do with this card. I like seeing designers' reaction to me when I play their games. Like, and when he showed us Wildwood that one night at Origins, it was like, it was fun. I love those experiences.
But here's the thing: is I spent hours playing somebody else's game with Evan that same night. You know what I mean? And we're talking about it. And Mike, you were there before you chickened out and went to bed. And then because it was an unreleased game. And then, but like we played with Reed. We played Stuff Legend real late that one night with Reed.
Hey, I just want to say that game we were playtesting, I had played like 6 or 7 rounds of it and then went to bed at 2 a.m. and you guys were still playing it. And well, Mike needs his rest sometimes.
You're not a man unless you play 30 rounds of it.
And they get like 6 designers around the table, all making improvements to this game. I'm sorry I only stuck around for 3 of the designers at the table. My bad, Tim.
Oh my God, it was amazing. It was such an amazing experience. Just a highlight. But no, I do legitimately think that that's a fair question, but I will just tell you that there's so many people in this hobby and in this industry that they're just gamers, dude. They're just gamers and they want to play games with people. Very rarely have I met people that have only wanted to play their games. And that's all they want to do. And that's the only thing they're interested in talking about. Oh, damn, Bob, with the fireball. I just want
to say with this comment and this comment, I hate all of you.
But no, it's awesome. Here's the thing I will say about being a content creator, and we're small. So that's the other thing. We're not anybody from Dice Tower walking in, right? We don't carry any weight. The thing is, those guys treat us the same way I felt. Those guys made us feel like we're the Dice Tower, which was amazing, and we're all just starstruck. But at the same time, those guys are just gamers. They want to play games. We're hanging out, and it's just awesome. I love all of these people that I've met and that I can call friends because of this. Because when I was even pre 2019, 2020, when we started the show, before I was even a content creator, I was meeting designers at Gen Con, at conventions. And these guys are just like wanting to play games. They're just dudes. And, very rarely have I felt big timed. And honestly, the only times I've felt big timed have been by other content creators and not by designers. I'll tell you, I mean, we had the opportunity to meet and hang out with Martin Wallace for a little bit. I don't think you get much bigger. Also, Eric Lang, right? I don't think you get much bigger than those two. Just going to put it out there. And those guys they just talked to you and you felt like you were, they were just a dude from somebody else's game group that you were just meeting. They're like, oh, what games do you play in your game group? Badass. I mean, the majority of these people are badass. And yeah, exactly. I mean, Evan, I wasn't trying to say they're not, but I'm just saying Dice Tower, right, is like the pinnacle. They're the big ones. And, and so people tend to, I could see, give some deference to content creators with that level of sway. But yeah, no. The only people that have ever, and I wouldn't say that they've made me feel small because I'm just like, whatever, get out of here. I don't care. But the only people that I've ever felt seemed a little haughty were other content creators. And I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. With the exception of one dude who apparently is nice if you know him, but if he doesn't know you, he's just going to be a jerk to you. And I won't throw him under the bus this podcast because we've thrown him under the bus on other shows.
Anyway, we're not gonna toss any stones, but yeah.
But that's a great question, man. And if I hadn't had the experiences I had at Gen Cons and other conventions before meeting and talking to designers, I might have a different approach. But no. Everybody's been great. And look, here's the thing. Let me just say this real quick. Matthew might have the best mullet that you've ever seen on a human being. He might rock a windbreaker better than anybody should. And him wearing a fanny pack might even make the most masculine male question his life choices. But I've never felt big timed by Matt. But anyways, totally fair question. But no, these guys have all been awesome to us, and win can't get them. I love it.
I mean, seriously, the guy buys a windbreaker straight out of the Barbie movie. Like, it's perfect.
Oh, dude, it's
perfect,
great.
dude. Seriously.
It's great. I feel like if I ran into my Goodwill down the street, I would have found it. Because it's right out of the 90s.
I know. With that fresh Newport smell on it, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, my last two here are super obvious because ever since I've been playing both of these, I cannot shut up about them. You will definitely find both of these in my top 50. You're definitely going to see these on my favorite games from this year. Let's get out of the way. The first one here, it's Splendor Duel.
Splendor Duel. Yeah.
Splendor Duel is so good. I already liked Splendor, and I don't care that it is a simple game. I just really
I love Splendor.
The
honorable mention, almost too big.
The simple tactical puzzle that Splendor is. But then they took Splendor and then they improved it in every possible way with Splendor Duel. It makes it a two-player experience, of course, but that's how I've played most of my games of Splendor anyway. I already have 21 plays of this game. It is so good. Yes, I took it on that trip that I was on. Yes, I played it a handful of times there. It's just incredibly good. And now it's got this really cool mechanic where you're not just going to be grabbing the tiles that you want. They need to be available on the board. But when you fulfill your contracts and turn your chips in, they go into this bag. And then you have to spend an action to refill the board from the bag, but then you get first pick of the board when you do so. But if the other player is hoarding a bunch of chips, there aren't very many chips in the bag, so refilling it doesn't seem like a good strategy. So then you and the other player kind of like, okay, are you going to fill that bag? No, you fill the bag. No, so you're like, fine, I'll just take one chip. You fill that bag, and it's just such a really, really well done improvement over the original. And speaking of big name designers, Bruno Cathala helped with this version, so I'm sure that didn't hurt at all. But man, Splendor Duel is one of my favorite two-player games that I have ever played. It is very, very good.
Mike, you gotta teach me this game.
Okay.
Turnabout's fair play, right?
That's awesome. Yeah, it's so good. It is so good. If you like Splendor, then yeah, this is a home run, dude. It's awesome.
I love Splendor. I think it's great. I know people are tired of it, blah blah blah. I still think it's a great game. I'll play it anytime. I think it's awesome.
Again, anytime you can get, anybody at the table that's like hasn't played a whole lot of games, yeah, I'd still bust out Splendor and gladly play it with people.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this. Our number one small box values.
My number one.
Ooh.
Small box.
Ooh.
Plays well, high player count. Sometimes even more fun at a high player count. Twilight Imperium. Just kidding.
Oh!
Because that's a gigantic box.
This is arbitrary. Oh!
Yeah, I was like, what's the biggest box I own next to Ogre? It's either Twilight Imperium or it's Hate. Oh, totally fun to have on my list. But no, my number one's For Sale. For Sale was talked about earlier. There's no way I was going to not mention that. Yeah, TI, small box game. No way For Sale was not going to get mentioned. It's so good. It's so easy to play. It's very easy to teach. Um, I try out different things all the time because you just don't know what the layouts are going to be. Because again, as I love the way you're bidding on cards twice. You're bidding on these cards, and then the cards that you've gained through the first round, you are then using to bid on the cards in the second round. You're buying all these properties with the first deck, and then the second deck, you're using all those properties you just bought to bid on the dollar amounts. And it's just classic. It's so easy. And yeah, Andrew, you totally called it. I was not even going to say, that's why I didn't say anything very early about it. David, I've never played No Thanks, so it's not going to get an honorable mention for me. We haven't done Mike's number one yet, so I don't know. But For Sale right now, I believe Eagle Griffin Games is the one that prints it. So much value in this game. I love this game so much. I played it a ton. I will continue to play it a ton. I mean, a month ago, we played it at Mike's house. I played it with complete strangers. Had a blast. You know, new people were learning the game. I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, it still didn't take long. You know, we're all learning it. Or, you know, they're all learning it. We're playing it. Oh, so good. I enjoy this game thoroughly. It's one of the perfect small box games for the value. Yeah, For Sale.
Yeah, Tim, I completely agree. As you can see, I've logged 42 plays of this game.
Only
It is an honorable mention.
you need
I
to show
knew
up
it would be.
at the Halbert's household post dinner with For Sale, and maybe you'll get closer to 1,000 plays.
Yes. So David, funny you mentioned that. Yeah, they rethemed it and added some variable player powers. It's now For Sale Autorama. If you didn't know, I work at an auto auction, so automatically I have to try this version. I need to just buy it. I have the travel edition, which basically just makes the chits like hard stock, so it's more portable. When I play at home, I just use poker chips or coins, metal
Yep,
coins.
I'll use
But
metal
when I
coins in mine.
travel, then yeah, I just use those little chips, or I bring other games that have better chips. You really just need the cards to play it, and you can proxy whatever you want for the bid chips. For Sale's awesome. I've taught this to so many people. Such a great game. I knew it would be really high on your list.
I mean, it was really for me, a coin flip between this and Growl, because out of all the games on my list, these are probably the most played out of the two. You know what I mean? Like, out of the whole list. And yeah, I love it.
Good question, Andrew. I don't know if Autorama is better. I've heard some people make the complaint that they kind of took like a very good, simple game and convoluted it a little. But I'm willing to take that chance and pick this up at some point. I just need to, because I just really want to try this. Yeah, I just need to do that. I don't know if it's better.
And I think for me, like, I like For Sale so much that I will let somebody else teach me Autorama. And then if I'm like, oh yeah, way better, then I'll go out and get it. But like,
yeah,
my For Sale isn't going anywhere anytime soon, you know?
But yeah, look at this, Tim. You got like different player powers in play here. If you pay 3,000 when you play this card, its value increases to 32. So that stuff sounds really cool to me, man. Like an extra layer on For Sale. Like, how can that be bad?
Interesting.
I know some people want to keep their simple games simple, but I also put number two, a game of that I love that they added layers to make Splendor Duel, and it's amazing. So I need to just pick up Autorama and try it. It looks cool. But yeah, awesome pick. And yeah, it was really fun playing that at my house last time. All right. So my number one, you can check our channel because Bob and I did a review of this. This has become between Splendor Duel and Sky Team, these are my two favorite two-player games. I bought it at Origins. I've logged 27 plays. I can't stop playing it on BGA with Bob. That is Sky Team. Sky Team is so freaking good. I love this game. Man, do I love this game. The basic premise is that you're landing a plane. One person plays the pilot, the other person is the co pilot. And so, what you're doing is you're playing this cooperative game where you're putting dice down, and they will do things like this is the engine, and that's going to determine how far the plane moves. You also got this axis. And so, if one player plays a die higher than the other, the plane tilts in that direction. But before you land the plane, you got to get the brakes out. You also need to get your landing gear out, and you also need to get the wheels out. The freaking why can't I think of what they're called on this? The landing gear, the landing gear, and the flaps. There we go.
Yeah, the flaps.
They also have planes that are in your path, and you need to get those out of the way. So you need to use radio communication to tell them that you're on your way. Meanwhile, there's a little bit of mitigation in that you can put dice down here and get coffee, and then that's like a worker in Castles of Burgundy. It's a +1, -1. It's so thematic. The components are amazing. There's tons of different modules in here. You can there's different tracks that determine how many different planes come out, which modules you're supposed to use. There's different special abilities that you can choose from. You can play a real-time module that really ramps up the tension when you get used to the game. It's just so good. This is the biggest game on my list and the most expensive at 30. But for what you get, the amount of content that you get, the amount of replayability that you get, how frequently you can get to the table. I love this game. It is so good. If you don't have Sky Team and you are playing Evan, if you're playing the same games over and over with Miss Halbert, go out and get Sky Team, man. It is so good. I love this game. I'll play it with you on BGA. Hit me up. Love it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I need to play it more, but
it's not thematic that the pilot and co-pilot can't communicate, but that's what makes the game. So I'm okay with it.
It does.
If you can communicate, this game falters. You have to not be able to communicate.
Well, the game would be way too easy.
Yes. I also want to add, I feel like this game did something with dual layered boards that I feel like more companies are going to start doing. A lot of dual layered boards you find are pre-glued together. Sky Team came with two boards connected that you folded together and stuck together with dual-sided tape that came with it. That is so smart, and I guarantee you it's cheaper to manufacture. I'm just guessing. Plus, it's not going to warp before it gets to you. If those boards aren't the exact same size when they're glued together, they bend upwards. That happens in a lot of games I've seen. Man, I'm telling you, Hachette, you've got to watch out for Hachette. They are just crushing it. I mean, they were selling out of Sky Team at Gen Con this year. They were selling out of Turing Machine and Acropolis at Gen Con last year. I did not put Acropolis on my list, but I could have. Honorable mention. But Sky Team is fantastic. One of the best games I've played this year. New to me.
So you want to do honorable mentions?
Yes. Got a bunch.
All right.
Go for it. Hit them.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to do the ones that aren't out yet, but I'm just going to say you should know about them. The first one has got to be Ahoy Kitten. I have played this game so many times since getting a review copy of it. This game's amazing. I love it. We did a review of it, and we even had a rule wrong. I don't care. The game's super fun. It's great. I don't even know if we'll ever play with the correct rule or if we'll just play with our rule. We'll try it with the correct rule and see what happens.
It's just as good, if not better, Tim.
But
Now you want to hesitate before you cover.
yeah.
So
So
it's easier
anyways,
to steal.
yeah, just really good game. Super fun, very silly. Love it. Absolutely love it. Another honorable mention, small box game. And you can go ahead and check off Tim Panders, but I don't give a shit. Great small box game is going to be Zombie Survival Infection on Kickstarter now. Might still be alive, I believe. And if it's not, I apologize. But hey, you know a guy in the Discord you could reach out to about late pledging if you needed to. Anyways, fantastic art, super fun, very mean, very thematic, and just a really cool zombie game where you don't have to get into all the zombicide stuff. Um, awesome game, really love it. Also on my honorable mention, Equinox. I don't own this, but Equinox is really good. Um, you've got this tableau of cards. You're basically betting on what species, right? Which tableau, which card you think is going to make it all the way to the ending. And so you're throwing basically support on these cards and you're trying to keep them alive. You're trying to keep those little mythological species of critters alive till you get to the very bottom. I need to own this freaking game. I love this game. The components are great. It's cheap. Equinox, really good. I know this is basic, but this game is so easy, so accessible, and I think this is a great gateway game and a lot of value and replayability, and that is Spice Road. I prefer Century, the Century edition of Spice Road. I think Spice Road's great.
Gollum.
Yeah, Gollum. That's what it is. Gollum, Century Spice Road. The Gollum edition with the artwork. But the components in this game are surprisingly really good for just a very cheap small box game. Lots of replayability. This
I wanted to go back real fast to Equinox. Great pick. Only played it once, loved it, almost bought it several times because you can regularly find it on sale for like $20.
Yes.
And also it's designed by the bidding game master. That is Dr. Reiner Knizia.
Reiner Knizia. Yeah. He's good at that for a reason, right?
He is. I love his games and I love bidding games.
This was pushing the limit, so it didn't make it on my list, but Mission Control is a small box game. It's the box is thin. I'm looking at it. I'm like, that's a small box.
Sized King Domino Lost size. I'd allow it. It
was right on the border.
Equinox.
It was right on the border. And I think Equinox and like Splendor, Splendor is another honorable mention, are like the same size box. Same thing with Gollum, Spice Road.
Those are a little smaller
Century
than the Splendor box, but Mission Control's even smaller than that. I left it as an honorable mention.
So, gosh, I know we talk, and we also
box. That's our next list.
We also talk about Mission Control a lot, but anyways, that was almost on the list. Bang the Dice game. I know that was mentioned in the comments. Awesome game, super fun. Even if you did just Bang, both small box games. I like the dice game a little bit better. I just kind of like the randomness of the dice, and getting to roll the dice every turn, and seeing what comes up and sort of the push your luck aspect of that. I feel like it's an improvement on Bang. Also makes Bang a little faster. Another awesome small box game, Micro Macro Crime City. It's a small box with a big map, and you're trying to figure out. They give you these cards, and you're just trying to solve the puzzle. It's super fun. I love playing it. I played it with my kids. I played it with my with my younger children. I played it with my 17-year-old niece. I played it with my wife, and we've all had a really good time playing it and try to suss out the crime, the mystery. It's very satisfying when you get it right. Star Wars deck building game, small box, great game. If this game was online like Star Realms, I probably wouldn't play much Star Realms anymore because I'd rather play the Star Wars version.
Replaces it.
It's a similar game, but it turns it up. like to another level that I appreciate. And I love that the rebels can only buy rebel cards and the Empire can only buy Empire cards. It's so good.
And that you can still clear out the market by destroying the other side's
Yeah.
cards. I love that
Yeah.
mechanic.
It's very cool. It is very
Yep.
cool.
Mhm.
Good point. Thanks for bringing that up. Mystic Market is a small box game,
I need to play
and
that
you've
too.
yeah, and you've got like this really cool market to choose from, but like when you do stuff with the items, it changes their location in the market. I mean, like most market games, right? But this just does it on a very small, compact scale with some really cool components like tucked away in this box. Like, don't
Yeah.
sleep on that. Don't sleep on that.
I
It
was
looks
gonna
really
show it
good.
because there's that really cool
That
that thing
little
you're talking
ramp,
about
that
there.
little ramp,
Yeah,
and you put the little vials of the different components in there. I don't know if you can zoom in or if there's like a
there
closer
you
up
go.
picture. Yeah, they just look good.
Yeah, you
That's
get this thing
stock.
for $16.
It's stock. I mean, that's just out of the box.
Yeah.
It looks good. The table presence is ridiculous. You know what I mean? You put that up and you're playing that at a convention. Somebody is going to ask you to teach them how to play that game. And it's fun to boot, right? On top of that, kites. I really like kites. We're flipping
Ah,
timers, and you know you're trying to keep the theme is you're trying to keep your kite in the air, but you're doing it by playing cards, and that allows you to flip a timer. And the timers, reflect the longevity of the kite staying in the air. Really fun, very stressful. I enjoy this game quite a bit.
Tim, you've run out of time for that pick.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I have. This was legit almost on my list. Really almost was, and that is Marvel Ultimate Uno. Smaller box.
Oh,
It's still kind of almost a bigger box if you get like one of the core sets, but the small boxes, they're like this size, because you just get the deck of the hero you want. This game to me fixes Uno, makes it interesting, but also you're playing as an Avenger, right? As a superhero, and it's super fun, and I like it because you can deck out your opponents, so that will cause them to lose the game. Uh, I will also, there's two more I'm going to mention. No, three more. Skull King, Scheming in Skull King, or now just known
waiting
as
for
Skull
it.
King from Grandpa Beck's Games. I have literally worn out 2 copies of this game and I have gifted this game. This is a game that while we were playing, people have gone online and purchased uh, because they're like, oh, this is great. And I mean, non gamers have got online and purchased this because it's a fun twist on euchre or spades, and they really enjoy it. And I love it. It's so good. Conclusio, which plays similar to what is it? Is it uh, Halarati? What's the fireworks one?
Ha- Hanabi.
Hanabi. But anyways, Conclusio, you've got a hand of cards and you can't see what they are, and you can't see what one of those cards is. And so you're trying to deduce by what other people are playing in their cards that you can see what your card is. And if you're the first one to deduce what your card is, so you've got to have color, shape, and number. So there's 3 things that you're trying to figure out. This game plays super fast. It's really straightforward and easy to teach, and very fun. And every time I've taught this game, after the first time, everybody that I played it with that it was their first time is like, oh, now I get it. Let's play again. You know what I mean? And then we play again, and then inevitably we play at least a third time. I pretty much play this game 3 times every time I've ever brought it out, a minimum, if not a little bit more. So Conclusio, really good, really fun. And then the last one I will talk about, Mike, the ultimate small box game. This game plays fast. You can play it with friends. You can play with adults. You can play with kids. This game takes under 2 minutes to play. You can play this game loud. You can play this game silently. Not only is this game box so small, it's non-existent, because if you get the good version, it's in a neoprene case shaped like a fish. and that is Happy Salmon. I mean, if we're being honest, Happy Salmon should be my number one. Happy Salmon is amazing. It's super fun. It's super dumb. Uh, but it's my ultimate small box value. It had to be an honorable mention because there it is. That's the one I got. Love this damn game. Super fun, really goofy, very lighthearted. Mike, now that I'm done with my half hour
All
of
right.
honorable mentions, why don't you hit me with yours?
I got a ton here, so I'm going to whip through them pretty quick. I'm going to start with the ones that I've seen mentioned in the comments or people maybe thought that I was going to pick. So let me find here. Where the heck did I see it? Oh, Bob mentioned it. Galapagos. Galapagos is this super interesting semi-cooperative game where it's cooperative until the food runs out. Because then when there's not enough food, that's on the box, and I love it. It's cooperative until the food runs out because when the food runs out, you have to vote on someone to leave the island. And you have to be able to feed everyone that stays on the island. So if you have 10 players and 8 food, 2 people are getting voted off the island. So what you do on your turn really matters. You need to do things that help get food. You need to go fishing, which gets you food. But you also, to survive, need to build a raft and then get that raft off of an island because you're trying to get yourself off of this island until, so that you can survive. It's really hard to pull off. But man, there's still a story that we have about that game and I want to play it again because for as small as this game is, as cheap as it is, yeah, Galapagos is a blast. I just want to play it again for price, box size. There's still a story that I've got to tell about that game about how I got shot, but then busted out the car door and deflected it back to the person that shot me and survived. It was so good, so good, so good. Galapagos. All right, so now the other ones here. Tim, I was surprised you didn't say Campy Creatures. Campy Creatures is really solid. Play the Beast first round. Tim, you're muted. You're still muted, by the way. Okay. All right, cool. Just making sure you know. But yeah. Camping Creatures, a lot of fun. Oh My Goods. Oh My Goods is just a deck of cards and is the smallest Alexander Pfister game that you can buy. It's a very good resource conversion game, and you can get it online for 15 bucks. Teach You, just a deck of cards. Cooperative, 2 versus 2. It's euchre on crack. It's really good. It's been around for decades. Jaipur. Jaipur is a 2-player set collecting game where you're trying to sell cards. The higher set you can sell, the bigger bonuses you get. QE, this is probably the largest box I would put in this list. QE is a fascinating bidding game where you can bid any number you want. So why wouldn't you just bid the most every time and write 53 trillion down? Well, if you bid the most, you can't win because you bankrupted your country. QE is quantitative easing, where all countries printing money and then buying assets with money, and the assets give you points, but you can't spend the most money. Love that game. Um, Bag of chips. A bag of chips is 14 bucks. It is a super fun push your luck game. Yeah, I haven't played it in a while, so I need to get that back out, Tim. It was one I kept throwing in the bag over and over and haven't gotten a chance to play. But you're drafting multiple cards and then pulling chips from these bags, and the sets that you get have to line up with your scoring cards. But one of the cards you pick is going to count against you. So you got to pick the cards that sometimes you need to take the card that scores the lowest because that's the score that counts against you. I think it's funny how oftentimes it's whoever does the least worst is who wins. Sometimes -12 is a winning score, and I think that's funny. Um, Also, one we learned from Papa Soup recently. I love some of these small box all play games. How about Mountain Goats, Tim? Mountain goats we got to play. You're rolling dice and trying to move your goats up to the top of these mountains. And the numbers you roll, you can split them or you can add them together. And the of course the higher dice have a shorter track, but you get more points when you get to the end of them. Really enjoyed that one. Speaking of all play small boxes, I need to play my copy of Big Top. Big Top is a really unique auction game that actually has the Miko art on it, and it's got this creepy circus Miko art on it that looks awesome. But it's cool because you're trying to buy these things for your I only played the demo. We were trying to buy these attractions for your circus, but they have numbers on them. Those numbers are bids that you can make. So the more cards you have in front of you, the more different numbers you have available to bid. And when you bid those specific numbers, that's how you get money back into the economy of the game. Really unique take on auction. That is Big Top from All Play. My favorite word game is Decrypto by a long shot. Decrypto again, Scorpion Mask. This was the game that got me onto Scorpion Mask, and they just keep hitting home runs. This box is actually about the same size as Sky Team, probably the same box, same company. Decrypto's awesome. I'd rather have Decrypto than Codenames or just one or so Clover. But if I had to rank them, I'd probably go like Decrypto, um, um, so Clover, just one, then code names for me personally. They're all small box, so that's why I only included those and not like Blank Slate and stuff like that. What the Cup is pretty fun. You can get that one for $16 on Amazon. Um, one of my favorite small box games of all time is Biblios, but that's out of print now. And people are trying to charge $40 for that game that I bought like 10 years ago for $14, which I think is criminal. I hate that. I anyway. Save that tangent for another time. And then Scout. Scout is a lot for just being a deck of cards, but Scout is a really good card shedding game. Here's your cards. They have numbers on both sides. Flip your cards to either side, but you can't rearrange them. So you play them to rearrange them, and you have to play sets or straights. Scouts really, really good. It's a bit much for what it is, but it's awesome. That's all of my honorable mentions. Yeah, it's $23, Andrew. It's really, really a lot, especially when you can get 2 copies of Teach You for that. No, I mean you're right, David, but still, like just seeing people charging $40 for a deck of card and 5 dice is annoying to me.
That's
So
rough. That's rough.
anyway,
Mike, I was charging my phone, so like that's why I was just muted because I
no
didn't
worries.
have my mic plugged in. I was like, this is a great time charging my phone. Let me just let Mike talk and not interrupt him,
Well,
which I
those
normally
my
do.
honorable mentions, which I wanted to fly through real quick anyway. I'll throw one other one I haven't played yet, but I bought it. I'm excited to finally get it to the table. Bought it at Origins, and that's Goblin Vaults, another
Oh
one
yeah,
from
I want to play
Thunderwork.
this.
It's in that role player universe. I love the art and in that universe. It's a really interesting bidding game, so that's one I need to get played. There you go. All of our best values that come in small boxes.
I love it. Love it.
Good picks.
Awesome, awesome list tonight. Do we want to run through our top tens real fast just to wrap them up?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so my starting with 10, my number 10 was Pocket Paragons. My number 9 was Cartographers. I gotta look on my list. My number 8. Where the hell was my number
They
8?
moved around so much since he picked them.
Well, I mean, here's what my sheet looks like. And so I got like, oh wait, yeah, all this stuff written down and
Oh, good God.
I circled the ones. Yeah. Oh, my number 8 was Arboretum. My number 7, Catnip Auction House. My number 6 is Seven Bridges. My number 5 was Wolves of Mercia. My number 4 started off to be Stay Away, but then I changed it to Epic Spell Wars. My number 3 was Marvel Remix. My number 2 was Growl or Attack of the Mind Flayer from the Stranger Things universe. And my number 1 was For Sale.
Good picks. My
I
number
love
10
these
was
lists, dude.
I know. My number 10, Silver and Gold. Number 9, Gift of Tulips. Number 8, Custom Heroes. Number 7, Point City. Number 6, Longboard. Number 5, Shards of Infinity. Number 4, That's Pretty Clever, but you can get all 4 of them, and I'm sure they're really good. Number 3, The Crew, both versions. Number 2, Splendor Duel. And number 1, Sky Team.
Yeah, awesome list. Awesome list, Mike. And honestly, the ones on your list that I haven't played, I want to play. So that's the thing I love about these lists.
I'll end up buying Gift of Tulips here soon.
Oh, you missed the number ones. My number 1 was For Sale, and Mike's was Sky Team.
Yeah, I can't get enough of Sky Team, Evan. And it's on BGA. It's really good. I actually mentioned that since you like to play a lot of the same games over and over with the missus, you need to pick up Sky Team, man. It's awesome. I love it.
Right. So Mike, I'm gonna hit you with a few trivia questions real quick to end the show.
Okay.
And then we'll be done by 11 tonight. How's that sound?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. But yeah, we're waiting on John DeCampos to pick a topic, but he will be our guest next week. So join us then when we've got another designer with us. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Evan wants to play Sky Team. Yeah, dude, it's super simple. You could go watch How to Plays video and learn it pretty easily. They're great.
David, I'm gonna have to look up Dungeon Degenerates. It might be. I don't know. I don't know.
Ooh,
yeah. You look it up, bring it up, and then I can just look. I'll be lazy. I'll look at it on your screen.
Dungeon Degenerates Hand of Doom, David. That's the first one that comes up.
Sure. Try it. Bring it up. See what's up.
Yeah, I'm sure the art style is the same. Oh, I remember seeing this. It reminds me of an album cover. Yes, I remember seeing this.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can dig it. It sounds murder hobo-ish. Love it. Yeah, I think that looks fun, man. I think that looks fun.
Art style is pretty cool.
And again, I feel like the sometimes, like, look, not every game has to be like Vincent Dutrait art, right? Where it's like the most amazing, like realistic or whatever. Yeah. I think if the name and the theme, could also kind of jive with the art, like that's what I want, right? Like Valka is not art I want to see on Concordia.
I gotta pull this up. I love the art in Valka. That's a small box.
Yeah,
right?
It is a small box.
Small enough? I thought
it
so.
Is.
I freaking love this.
But you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to play Concordia with that art.
Right.
But I want to play. Yeah, I just love those cards, dude. I love the style. I love the muted colors. For what that game is, it really conveys a really fun feeling.
Anywho, all right. Playing it Sunday.
Okay. So, Mike, I have grabbed my trivia game.
Oh, sweet.
Shit for brains. I picked some celebrities that I at least know you've heard of.
Oh, great. Are you saying that I have shit for brains, Tim? This is pretty condescending.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if shoe fits. Okay. Okay, guys. Here we go. Mike, don't look at the comments. I know you're good. Oh, and it's Evan's college nickname. That's amazing. Walking on the Wild Side. What Oscar-winning actor worked as a lion tamer at the age of 15, was on a boat trip where actress Natalie Wood, who she mysteriously drowned at the age of 38. Right, maybe they were on the boat and they were 38, but Natalie Wood drowned. And then also appeared in Madonna's coffee table book Sex at the age of 49. So yeah, this person was 38. And this is an Oscar winning
I can't.
actor.
I'm drawing a blank on his name, and that's how bad I. This is my guess. Wolverine guy. What the heck is his name?
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. That's my
No,
guess.
nope, nope, nope,
All right.
nope. This
Uh,
man is not afraid of bears. Bears don't scare me. Marsupials do because they're fast.
I mean, I would be too obvious if it was Christopher Walken.
It is 100% Christopher Walken.
All right. Well, okay. I
Christopher
wasn't gonna
Walken.
get it anyway.
Nope, but you at least heard of Christopher Walken. So I gave you an actor you had heard of. All right. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Which children's author had an affair while his wife was suffering from cancer and depression and then married his mistress a few months after the wife killed herself?
Whoa. Didn't
Children's
Stephen King?
children's
Oh, children's.
children's author.
I don't know.
And
I don't know.
no, Stephen King has been married to Tabitha King the whole time, and they've never divorced or anything.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Let me give you the clue. To me, this is what gives this away as the name of the question, and that is one wife, two wife, dead wife, new wife.
Oh, Dr. Seuss?
Dr. Seuss.
Wow.
All right, you ready for this
Wow.
one? You're
Maybe
gonna get
that's
one
why
of
they're
these.
canceling his books.
Okay, so everybody, if you've got children watching, please ask them to leave the room for just a second. What Hollywood actor started using the word motherfucker to overcome his lifelong stuttering problem?
Wow. That would be Samuel L. Jackson, I assume.
You are correct.
You're giving me all these layups. I appreciate it, I
You are
guess.
correct.
This is how limited my actor knowledge is what Tim's telling me.
Well, you know. Okay. What
He's
singer
right.
attempted suicide by washing down a handful of barbiturates with furniture polish in 1970 and then turned his suicide note into the song Tomorrow is Today after the failed attempt?
Pink Floyd?
No, no, no. Floyd's not a dude. Pink Floyd's not a dude.
Wait, what? What
Wh-
what did I miss on that question then?
Pink Floyd's a band,
Oh, a person.
a person. What singer attempted suicide? I'll give you one more clue, and it's the title of the question, which I left out because I think it makes it too easy. The title of the question is Only the Good Die Young.
Oh, wow. Um, why am I Billy
It's
Joel?
yes,
Wow.
that is
I
a
didn't know that.
Billy Joel.
I mean, I'm getting them based on the music, not the information about the musician.
That's
So,
usually how, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all context clues, right?
yeah.
Um, okay,
Wow.
here we go. And this one won't give I'll give you the whole thing because it won't give it away this time. Cracking
Okay.
open a cold case. Which Cheers cast member's estranged father was a contract killer for the mob in Texas and once claimed involvement in JFK's assassination?
Oh.
So your clue, there's two clues here. Cheers and his dad was from Texas.
What was the clue name again?
Cracking open a cold case. I don't think that's going to give it to you.
I was gonna say that could make you think that it's maybe Norm, who's always already in the bar drinking.
Oh, sure. Yeah, George Wendt.
Um, or Woody. But if it's not those guys, I don't know, Kirstie Alley.
Well, you tell me. You tell
I
me
don't
which one.
know.
Who are you going with?
I'm going with Norm because he's always cracking open a cold one.
Oh, you should have went with Woody Harrelson.
Oh wow.
His dad was literally a contract killer. Yeah, yeah. His dad was
Wow.
a hitman. Which, if you think about Woody being a little loose, might make sense with a kind of a wild childhood that he might have
Feel like dancing, dancing.
had. All right. Here we go. And I'm not
Also,
reading.
I
Huh?
think I made a movie reference that Tim didn't pick up on.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said I feel like dancing, dancing. That is Woody
Yeah.
Harrell in Anger Management, sir. You remember he
Oh,
plays that cross-dressing prostitute?
yeah. I just didn't like anger management. I think I watched it
Mm,
once and was
yeah,
like,
that's fine.
okay, I'm done. Um,
Whatever.
I was kind of over Adam Sandler for a long time. Actually, pre anger management all the way to Uncut Gems, and then he brought me back because Uncut Gems is amazing. Um,
Bob with the pun.
Look at that. He may not have been, but his daddy sure was. Okay, here we go, Mike. You ready?
I mean, it's almost yeah. I mean, it's almost like if his dad killed too many people, he'd be living in a zombie land.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Anyway,
ooh, 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 terrible, terrible.
I
But
know.
also, I respect it. Okay, here we go. Before my phone battery runs out.
Okay.
What 90s child actor leaked their own sex tape in 2006 and spent 3 months in jail after stabbing someone with a switchblade in a Wisconsin bar after in 2014? Also, they're dead now.
Leaked his own sex tape, and then got arrested for stabbing someone.
Hmm.
Actor?
Yep, 90s child star.
Wow.
I
Uh,
guaranteed you watch this show.
oh, was that
Because you wake up in the morning to the alarm clock's warning and a dun dun dun
yeah,
dun
yeah.
dun.
I was
Come
already
on.
going that way. Screech?
Yes.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
who his brother, what band his brother's in?
No.
Let me give you a clue. Screech's real name is Dustin Diamond. His brother's name is Mike. Do you not know this? Oh, this is good trivia. If I said to you, what band is Mike D in?
Are you serious? The Beastie Boys?
Yeah, his brother is
Wow.
Mike Diamond. His older brother is Mike Diamond.
Wow.
At least you got the
I,
Mike D reference.
yeah, that's funny. King Diamond was the first thing I thought of too, Steve. I was like, it's not King Diamond. There's no way. Yeah, Mike D from Beastie Boys. Wow. I didn't even know his last name, to
Oh,
be honest with you.
oh, here's one I didn't know. Eddie Murphy denied being the father of a child, which member of the Spice Girls until a paternity test proved otherwise.
Oh, geez. Baby Spice?
Nope. Mel B, which is Scary Spice.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I could have named that many Spice Girls. Ginger Spice would have been my next one, and then I think I was done naming Spice Girls.
Oh, yeah, Scary Spice.
And
Yeah. I
you
could
know,
name most of them. I dated a girl that really, really liked the Spice Girls back in the day.
oh God.
Oh, well, I mean, it was the 90s.
Okay,
So,
Posh Spice. It would have taken me a minute to get Posh Spice. Ugh, yikes. Skanky
um,
Spice. I
Skanky
uh
Spice.
I heard they're gonna bring it back and they're gonna do a pumpkin spice. So there you go.
Okay. All right. Like, we'll do two more and then we're going to call it. Okay, Mike?
Yep.
What scientist and TV personality got a restraining order against his ex wife after she was caught pouring herbicide on his prize rose bushes? So, scientist and TV personality.
Yikes.
I'll give you a clue. It wasn't Beekman's World. It was the other one. And I loved Beekman's World.
Oh, Bill Nye?
Mm-hmm.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Yeah, Bill Nye's awesome.
Bill.
Yep,
Wow.
yep. Okay, last one.
Yikes.
Last one. You ready? This is going to be amazing. I love Mr. Wizard too, Evan. This question's called This Party Sucks. What deceased actor claimed he was once kicked out of an orgy for staying in character as the superhero he portrayed on TV?
Oh my word. Is it one of the original Batman actors?
Ooh, do you know any of their names?
No.
Okay. Which Batman actor do you think, just based on like that statement alone?
The one that was on Nick at Night when we were
Yeah,
kids.
yeah. So 60s. What we would call Batman 66.
What's his name? Adam
Yes. And it's not north,
West?
south, east. Yes.
Yeah, Adam West. There we go.
It is
Wow.
Adam West. Mike, you
Took me a
still
minute.
got
I'm sorry,
it.
guys. I'm terrible at actor names. It's just not my thing. Sorry.
No, it's not. But I appreciate you sticking with me and playing this game anyways, Mike. That's why I try to
Hey,
throw
I got
some
it before
softballs.
anybody else did. We must be on a super long delay.
We must be. You did great. You did great. All right, man. I'll stop bothering you. We're almost to 11. I don't know how much longer the phone's going to last. You guys, awesome list tonight. Yeah, I would have expected that from Burt Ward. I was surprised that it was Adam West because Burt Ward took it like way to a different level. But yeah, as usual, awesome group. Thanks everybody for watching, participating. You guys are amazing. We love you. Again, makes my Wednesday nights. Doesn't matter what my week's been like. This sets the second half of my week off in the best direction possible. So stay tuned.
Wednesdays.
Our very, I would almost say, overproduced spooky top 10 games is coming out really soon. You guys are gonna love it. I think it's great, and it's a fun list, and I think you're gonna like some of the changes you guys see. Yeah, Mike, what else you got?
No. Yeah, check out that Spooky Games Top 10. That should be coming out tomorrow. We're gonna have John DeCampos next week to talk about Valka. I'm sure he'll talk about Black Mold. We might talk about art a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And that should be a fun time. We're still waiting to figure out the topic, but John also does content himself quite a bit on TikTok, so he should be a really fun guest.
And I think Mike and I might do like our not top 50 coming up and just do that via the live stream.
Yeah.
Where we do top 10s that are just didn't make our top 50, right? Kind of stealing something from Board Game Mechanics, inspired by, but
yeah, we're going to supplement our studio top 10s here with Whiskey Wednesday here. So yeah, at the end of this year, we're of course going to be doing our top new to you games. What doesn't make that list will make our top 11 through 20 for a Whiskey Wednesday. The games that don't make our all-time top 50, when we do those in the next couple months, we're going to turn into 51 through 60 on a Whiskey Wednesday. So we're going to be very soon talking about our all-time favorite games on Whiskey Wednesday. As long as mixing things up around the holiday season, you might find us, me and Tim, playing some games on BGA, goofing around. So that kind of stuff.
And you can always find us in the Discord. You want to hang out, you want to arrange a game, online. Find us in the Discord. We're there. We're doing stuff. Steven, I don't think anybody from our crew is going to be at PAX U. God, I'd love to do that, but I just can't swing it.
Yeah, just too many paid days off. We're already accounted for before August. I'm done with my days off.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get a good presence from the rundown at more cons next year. We're already talking about some other ones that we can make happen. But yeah, you'll see us at some more cons next year for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Oh, Andrew says, hey, throw a link to the Discord real quick.
Funny you mentioned it. I was already jumping in there. Our Discord's always hopping, and it's not just us, it's you guys. Many of you guys that are in this chat are in our Discord. And we've just got a really great community of people in there. It's awesome to be able to chat with you guys about games and these lists and the topics that are,
Mhm.
the whole reason we bring them up because they're fun to talk about. It's fun to hear your opinions too.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for sticking with us through the whole list, all the tangents, sticking through the football talk at the beginning. We do that just to troll everybody, anyways. But it's super fun, and Mike and I genuinely enjoy it. But you guys are the best. Really appreciate you. Can't wait to see you next week. Mike, anything else before we sign off?
No. Yeah, check out our spooky game top 10 tomorrow.
Womp womp. Right on, guys. For the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I was Couch Mike.
Woo. We'll see you next time. Watch out for bedroom, Mike.
Bedside Mike. Oh, I gotta order a bedpan. I'll be back.